Hey, everybody, what are you doing in there? You excited? You ready to talk about your favorite movies from 2010 to 2019? What a decade it was for movies. I was going through the list last night and saying, man, a lot of good stuff out there. And we are excited to do it. We have a really cool show here today. And I don't know if you saw my tweet or even on this thing. We got a special guest. Who do you think's the special guest? Can you guess? Let's see. I'm gonna read the comments right now, and let's see. Go ahead and guess, and I'll see if you're right.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to SEN Live, the Schmoedown Entertainment Network. I'm Kristian Harloff. This is the morning show that we do over here on this network. So excited to have you with us today. The end of the decade. This is the last show of 2019. On the engineer booth today, the one, the only RB3. He's here. He's ready to go. RB3, there he is. To my left, Mr. Ben Goddard, fan of John Cryer. Next to him,
huge fan.
Next to him, Brett, the sniper Sheridan, back in town. And we're going to be doing our full-on list here, ladies and gentlemen, of the best movies of 2010 to 2019. And yep. And we were gonna do a full-on just top 10 list. But then there's just too many movies that we're just going to basically have just a roundtable discussion about all the movies that have come out that we loved over the last 10 years. And we want you guys to get involved. So once again, go to STREAMLABS.com/the Schmoedown. That keeps us in business. And so do the Super Chats. But STREAMLABS.com, what's the difference? No percentage out of the STREAMLABS.com. You get more characters over there. So, and the SCHMOEBOT, we're putting her on early. And guess what? The SCHMOEBOT is going to be a little different today. So when you do the SCHMOEBOt, you're going to hear a different kind of SCHMOEBOT. Oh. And as excited as I am about the SCHMOEBOT, as excited as I am to talk to these two knuckleheads on the left, and as excited as I am to have RB3 back on the table, there's a very special guest in the studio. And it is an honor and it is a privilege to have this particular person, RB3. You know this music. You know exactly who I'm about to introduce, and I'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, he is the reigning movie trivia Schmoedown team champion of the world, the Outlaw John Roca.
What's up, everybody?
John Roca in the house.
Someone say champion?
That's
Did
right.
Someone say team champion?
They did.
That's what they said. I want to talk about a top 10.
That is right.
Hey-o.
Nice to have you in.
Thank you for having me, man.
Studio. It's finally, look, we were talking about it. We were hoping it could happen.
Yeah.
And here we go. People are excited. Someone says, oh my God, somebody schmobot him to death.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
People are pumped that you're here, man. People are here. So, he is here.
The Outlaw Unhinged. Let's make it happen.
It's good to have you, man.
Listen, Sheridan's. You remember when Sheridan was nervous about doing anything?
Yes.
Now this son of a bitch comes in here and goes, "You need to move the video game back so I have room."
Oh, yeah.
You know, I'm drinking.
Yeah.
I'm drinking from my little hydro flask that he bought online.
Look at him.
It's ridiculous. What happened to you?
No,
you were a man once.
He is so comfortable in this space.
I know.
It's like I'm so proud. It's like, you should have seen him yesterday. He was just because that's the thing we've nicknamed him now, the sniper, because he will hit shots like like Ori back in the day. Just there you go. He's like Robert Horry, hitting that 3-pointer out of nowhere.
Yeah.
So, and he's actually seen some movies from 2010 to 2019. That's right. Now, that's what we're going to be talking about. But we're excited to have John Roca in the studio. We'll talk about the draft in a little bit and all that stuff also, which you don't really have to worry about too much this year at all. Just kind of sitting back. You guys are the Yankees.
Yeah,
you guys are the Yankees.
Yeah,
right
27 Yankees. Line it up.
It is true. So we're going to get right into this thing, and I want to first read some Streamlabs that came in yesterday. Because there were some that after the show had ended, some people put some stuff in. That's also the beauty of Streamlabs, that you can do that. Anthony Nugent, the great Anthony Nugent, said, I have mad respect for the Mad Titan Jay Washington for stepping back in the ring. It's kind of hard not to have respect for somebody getting to put their body on the line. Mm-hmm. He really does, man. He moves. Oh, yeah. He moves, man. He's been working hard, so we're proud of him, too. S. Walker, 12, Kristian, when Clone Wars 7 comes out, do you plan on doing episode reviews? But 100% I do. That was the people misconstrued what I said yesterday. It's like, I'm not doing a full-on show about it. I don't plan to go out of my way to do like these in-depth conversations about it. But Mandalorian, I had a lot of fun doing those spoiler reviews. When season 2 comes out, I'll do the same thing. Yeah. Clone Wars, I'm rewatching with my daughter right now. We just watched a whole bunch of episodes. When season 7 comes out, I will 100% do watch-alongs and all that too. I'm just not going to go out of my way to do like the weekly thing. And if there's stories that break, of course. Yeah. I'm just not going out of my way to do what I've done for a while now. So that's kind of what I'm doing. So as far as season 7 of Clone Wars, 100%. I'm so excited for that show.
Are you watching in like that chronological order? Yeah, I need to rewatch it because there's so many episodes out of order. It's so strange.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah,
the first episode is like the 6th or 7th episode.
Yeah,
it's and. Have you watched Clone Wars?
I do. Recently? I love it. You mean the chronological order?
Well, it's like because I remember watching and some ambassador gets assassinated, and then 4 episodes later he's back, and I was like, wait, what just happened?
Yeah. I don't know why they did it that way. StarWars.com has the thing. Yeah.
Well, it's StarWars.com, IGN. All you got to do is just Google search chronological order for Clone Wars, and that's because that's how I got my daughter watching it because. Season 3, episode 4, something is like the first episode. Yeah, it's really strange. I don't know why they did it that way, but
the Yoda episode.
Either way, so I will absolutely be doing that. I'm going back over here to I'm going over to.
Are you going to watch it in chronological order? Hey-oh. Hey-oh.
You see what he says to him? He looked at him. He saw the show from yesterday, so he brought it up. You see that, Fred? You see what he did over there?
I'm from the East Coast, too. It's a zinger. It's a zinger.
Timestamp, Ben kills himself.
That's dark.
Happy New Year.
Garbage. Okay, so Scarvy Dent. Hey, Kristian, we'll be getting shirts for the new faction soon. Need to cop one of those Finstock Exchange shirts and maybe the Rockstars, too. Yeah, absolutely. I had mentioned it yesterday on the show. I would hope within the next week, maybe 2, I have another big announcement that I'm going to be making, and inside of that announcement will most likely come the shirt announcement as far as when you can get them and all these things. And it's like there's a great design that Brian Ward made for Bateman. It says "Boss" on it, but it's got the championship belt.
Oh, nice!
It's awesome.
Nice.
So I'm going to put that on sale also, but I just don't. We're just doing it a little differently than we have in the past.
The Founding Fathers need a shirt. We haven't had a shirt.
Again, everything's going to change in the next 2 weeks.
I want a controversial Mount Schmoedown shirt.
Right?
People will be mad.
Because
it'll be
it changes it. I think so.
And me.
Yeah.
And you. And you all 4.
And then me again. I won 4 titles. I should be on there 4 times. No. Obviously, Ben. I wouldn't put Ben on there. I just want to give him a heart on real quick. Yeah. Now, it would be me and Dan. Whoa. Me and Dan. Certainly.
Yeah.
Riley you have to throw in there, don't you?
I put Riley and Rachel in there.
Yeah, Riley and Rachel. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah. I think so, for sure. And people also have different. I think Kalinowski's getting up there, though, man. It's hard to get.
If he improves his singles record in the singles division, absolutely. Yeah. He kills it in IG, and obviously he got there in teams. But that singles thing,
I just rank overall players very differently than just overall knowledge.
That's fair.
Because
He's got great character.
Since I don't know if I saw anybody as invested in the overall Schmoedown as much as Kalinowski. The character, the game, the everything. Yeah, everything. So, and it got to him. Obviously, that's why we were talking. We were texting each other. Dan, playing because you had said about you and Bibiani have this incredible
don't compare
fun
relationship.
No,
don't
but
compare
it's
me with Bibiani.
It's the rivalry that you have.
Okay,
it's the rivalry that you guys
okay
have, because it's such a rivalry because you guys neither one today someone
did he text you this morning?
No.
He sensed I'd be on here.
Yeah,
but you don't give him the credit. He doesn't give you the credit. And when someone had asked what's the most iconic nickname in the SCHMOEBOT,
and he put his own name in there. No, he put Rachel.
No, he voted.
He stands for Rachel.
He will never vote for you no matter what. And you'll never vote for him either.
No, and I'll never vote for him. No,
that's what I'm saying.
The Beast is too easy. That's not. The Outlaw. Nobody saw that coming. The Beast. That's something else.
But my point is that it's just it's just so fun watching you guys kind of go back and forth on that. But no, he didn't. I think that the Rushmore is everything. It encompasses everything. And even you were talking about kayfabe and characters, and Rachel had chimed in about how she doesn't think she was a great actress. I don't think Rachel gives herself enough credit because the scenes that she did with Ken and the stuff she did with, she might not have been comfortable.
Right. Yeah.
But it was believable and it worked. And I thought Rachel was actually one of the better ones we had because she was being herself, but she could carry it over in the scenes. Yeah. She doesn't give herself credit enough for it. I thought she was great.
That's the standard thing with Rachel, though. She doesn't give herself enough credit for anything. Yeah. That's the frustrating part of it. Rachel's great at everything she does. Yeah. If she only believed that she was, her life would be a million times better. Yeah. She's left a legacy in the Schmoedown. I remember when she came on the old Schmoes No Show, and I just gave her shit because I was
didn't think she was going to be what she was.
Well, it's not that I didn't think. I was like, I tried to give her some tough love. We'll see what's up when the lights turn on and blah, blah, blah. And sure enough, she figured it out as she went along. And yes, she certainly got better on the scenes, and so did Dan. That's what happens. Those of us who were actors before, Dan it's impulse, right? Yeah. But those who aren't, they have to learn how to figure this out, the timing. And so Rachel's done great. Compare her first scene to her latest scene. Oh, yeah. She's incredible.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Also, editors are just good actors in general.
Yeah.
Editors?
Editors are?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Murrow.
Dan Murrow.
And Rachel.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Dan's been awesome lately, too, on his scenes and everything. When he came back, that's what I love about Murrow, besides just in general, what a great person he is. But when he came back against Guy, he thought he was stepping back into the same game he left.
Right.
And he realized quickly that he wasn't, because it was, and there are two types of players. There's a type of player that goes through that type of loss and says, well, I'm not going through this shit again. Fuck this. I'm out. Or a Dan Murrow who says, no. I'm going to go right back at this thing, and I'm going to be better than I ever was. Because if you go back and listen to all the shows and everything too, it's over for Dan. He's past his prime at this point because he didn't do it was a different game. You can't just rely on knowledge. And then he comes back. Perfect games, Ethan wins the titles with you. It's great. So Dan's a legend, obviously.
Bibiani can't act though, so go ahead. I'm just joking. I'm joking, babes. Don't get mad. Put your phone down.
I think Bibiani's pretty.
He's
good.
Calling in.
Yeah. Okay, let's get into some of these movies, because there are so many movies that we watch.
Bibbs, if you want to call, you can call my number.
Yeah, do it.
Does he have your number?
I think so.
Oh yeah. And he actually call into the show.
Sure, he's everywhere.
Bibbs somebody tweet Bibbs if he's not watching. Tell him
oh no, poor Bibiani's Twitter.
Hey,
right
2 months and we finally worked out the phone call thing.
but if we have,
he's on the line. He can't hear you. You just talk to him.
I'll tell you a forgotten John Cryer movie. Oh, shut up!
Oh God! All right. Well, if he's listening, or if he just got woken out of his sleep because he knows someone's talking about him,
is the bear done hibernating? Call in.
We'll have him call in, and then we'll have Roke and Bibiani go after each other, because that's always fun. All right. So basically, what we're going to do is we're just going to take. You guys can throw in movies that you want to talk about throughout the decade that you think were memorable. Just some of the best movies of the year, and we can, somebody brings up a movie. Really, I didn't like that movie. Interesting. Why did you like it? Or I agree with you. I think this movie should be on the list because. And this is not like a top 10. It's just movies that I was going through last night, and all the guys were. And just saying these should be talked about as some of the best of the decade. One of the ones I'll start with, I will say one of the best comedies of the decade is 21 Jump Street. I think 21 Jump Street is a comedy that no one expected coming. No one expected Channing Tatum to do exactly what he did in that movie. Jonah Hill we knew was funny, but their chemistry was crazy. They took it when, and because of all the remakes and things that they have done with why are they rebooting this? Like, what's going to happen? Yeah. And the way that they did it was creative. It was funny, and I think it was definitely one of the better comedies of the last decade. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. That was hilarious. I mean, like you said, nobody saw it coming. And then you had Peter DeLuise and Johnny Depp do a small cameo at the end, which was brilliant. But everything about it was so funny. And plus, it was parodying those like.
I'm a relatively new follower of the Schmoedown. John, your singles match against Kalinovsky a few months ago is what really set me as a big fan of the Schmoedown. Your team match at the Spectacular was the highlight of the live stream for me. #Horseman.
Look at that.
I'm officially leaving my wife now.
SCHMOEBOT's fast and a little sexier, I would say.
I love that. That's like the ASMR SCHMOEBOT right there.
Yeah. John Roca, thanks for joining us on the show today. I'm really happy to have you. So so now that's the SCHMOEBOT.
I gotta deal with this erection. Hold on.
That's your first. RB3 like that one. Hold on. That's the
her part 2. Yeah.
Well, just wait. Just wait. That's the first SCHMOEBOT.
Nice.
Once they get a hold of it, the people who've gotten the biggest beatings from the Schmoedown have been Ellis for sure. Robert,
For the SCHMOEBOT, you mean?
SCHMOEBOT.
Okay.
Josh Robert Thompson and Bateman.
Bateman and Guy.
They were kind of on Guy's side more than anything else. But you think Guy's going to be able to pull off being a face?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I don't think Guy's built to be a face. Like Ben is, and like I am not. We're not built to be full faces.
But he can fit what you guys are doing.
Yeah. He'll be a good tweener, but he won't be a full face.
I agree.
He's no Riley. Riley is unturnable.
He's Sting.
Yeah, Dan, unturnable. Yeah, he's like Sting. Absolutely.
So I can give, and this is, I guess this is for backstage also, but I had pitched on 2 different occasions to Dan to go heel, and he's like, "That's just not."
He won't do it.
He's
too nice.
He's just not. He's not comfortable with it, and I don't want to push anybody to where they're not comfortable with it. But it was some cool storylines that we had, but he just is like, nah, because he kind of went heel when he joined the Lions Den, but not really.
It wasn't really.
No.
Mara would be a great heel if you could turn her.
Somebody just called the SCHMOEBOT a bitch. Oh,
whoa!
Oh, it's just so nice.
Oh.
You garbage? You want to call garbage? So anyway, 21 Jump Street. You guys believe with that?
Testing 137. Testing 137. I can schlong 80 faster than I could yesterday. Prepare for the schlong-pocalypse.
There we go. Highlight of my life.
That's where you're going to get it.
Both of those, though. 21 and 22. Oh, okay.
Yes. No, but 21 and 22, I do want to, but there's something I got to bring up with you.
Oh, no.
And I got to do it on the air.
Is it a schlong?
No, it's not a schlong. It's something that we got to work out here.
Oh!
It's something we got to work out.
All right, let's do it.
You gotta reconcile with the call to action people.
Oh,
you got
wait.
You got to. I guess.
Wait.
Can I tell you why first? I can make my point, and then you can tell me why I'm right.
It's quite a swerve you've thrown at me.
They are. I'm telling you, this is the.
Bring in his ex-girlfriend, Kristen. I got something you need to reconcile.
They are some of the most dedicated, loyal fans to the whole thing.
Who's ever questioned that?
I know you didn't. Yeah. But what I'm saying is that I think that they tried. They thought they were breaking your balls, and maybe you took it a little too serious. Is that
so?
What
you're saying is they're innocent, and I just took it too seriously.
No, maybe they crossed the line.
Yes, they did. Quite a few times. But didn't they personally?
But didn't they try to reconcile at the actual live event?
They were all drunk and stumbling over each other, trying to reconcile with the sober guy in the room.
Right.
So I did my best navigating.
Right.
I mean, the one dude who's like really slow dog, and he was drunk. He introduced me to his mom, and I was very nice to his mom.
Jake's the best.
Jake's great.
Yeah.
And I spoke to his mom, and it was very sweet to his mom. She was great. I couldn't believe she'd watched the stuff, so it was just very nice. A couple other people came up to me, but the woman who runs Chill to Action, I forget her name, the brunette girl, she said to me, I was told when I joined Call to Action that I had to hate John Rogan.
Yeah, but in a way, but
verbatim.
But the same
that
way
is
that
what she said.
Yeah, but the same way
I don't
that you
tell
hate,
Outlaw Nation to hate anybody.
Right, but you're
That's my crew.
But wait a minute. But you remember,
2,000 strong.
You had the biggest rivalry with Action.
I did. It was
so
great.
Why wouldn't they?
Well,
hate?
we
It's
did.
like it's like the Red Sox.
Oh, sure. But now the turn has happened.
Now that you're on the same team,
right? Ben, and there's no turn in Call to Action. There's none. Even Billy Belford was on Twitter and said, "Oh, I only like the greatest horseman that ever," and it's Dan. And it's like, all right, yeah, there's a jerk off. You're just playing. So
there's no reconcile?
No, but I did reconcile with Paul. Paul was great. Paul is one of the sweetest dudes. Paul, if you're watching or listening, thank you. Paul's been great. He reached out to me, and I did reconcile at the Spectacular when I was barely standing afterwards with some of them. And I said, I appreciate everything you guys did for Karen. Like that Karen, the late great Karen Volpe, what they did for her was incredible. Yeah. So I give them their due. I just wish James Spence and some of those assholes in there who said horrible shit about me. Like James Spence saying that I had to look in a mirror and jack off onto a miror. That kind of shit's too far.
Right.
And I would have put my fist through his face. Everybody didn't have to go to jail.
All right.
But and Paul and I are working on me coming on to Chill to Action.
Good.
We're working on it behind the scenes.
All right.
But I told him I don't want Spence on there.
Scenes anymore.
All right. I don't want Spence. Well, yeah, but I don't want Spence on there, and I don't want Belfort on there.
Does the mirror thing heighten it a little bit?
Ask yourself this. What kind of mind comes up with that? Someone who's probably tried it. So, like Spence hasn't even kissed a girl, probably. No, it's true.
Well, but I just know you. You get hot real quick.
I do when you mess with me.
I know, but I also know there's a teddy bear there too.
Yeah, that's right.
And I've talked to Spence. He's a sweet kid.
You.
I'm telling you. And people say stupid things sometimes. I think you should try to reconcile with the whole crew.
As soon as Spence crosses the line and Billy crosses the line, I'll meet them there. Until then, I'm not making the effort.
All right, well, I'll help. Because
I'm the Schmoedown star.
This is where, and here's where it
They're
comes.
the watchers of my work.
Where are we three at?
There we go.
Oh, Hess on the show today? Carry on.
Well, that was sent in by white women.
Oh.
Did you see that?
Where all the Army 3s?
Yeah. So
I like it. Yeah. Anyway, they're
I love
incredible.
how he just kind of coiffed his hair a little bit.
I know. He knew it was.
He's getting ready.
Yeah.
When the white women call, you got to get ready.
I don't like these questions.
I don't think it was a question. It was a statement.
No, but all props to them. They are incredible to the Schmoedown. Absolutely.
All right.
Maybe Paul and I work something out.
Well, they're definitely going to use these clips in their show.
Of course, and crap all over them.
No,
and
they
make
should. Well,
offensive comments.
Well, they shouldn't.
I guarantee.
Now, this is where they can be the better. They can say now they can use this as a.
They've made weight comments, racist comments.
Well,
comments,
they can use this as an olive branch. I think. Okay. And hopefully they do that. All right. So 22 Jump Street.
I was gonna say this is the perfect time. I got everybody. Let's pop these bad boys open and celebrate brand new year.
Skunks. All right, and also remember, I'm going to be after we're going through the movies. We're having a couple drinks.
Be careful.
And then what I'd also like you guys
to
do is make sure you go to streamlabs.com/SCHMOEBOT. I'm going to read all your questions, and it's the last of the year, so let's see what we can do. So streamlabs.com, and keep those schmoebots coming in here. You got the Outlaw. You can do whatever you want.
I got a question. Are you really done talking about Star Wars?
Yeah.
You should probably not drink it first.
Oh.
Cheers.
Cheers. Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year.
Salad. What the fuck? It's not even open.
Sorry, I didn't get.
You don't drink, right?
No, I do drink. But
So what are you doing?
I'm busy here.
He's
I'm
on
switching
the
the
job.
show.
He's on the job.
Who said you can't drink? All right, that's it. It's a celebration, bitches. That's right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, listen.
Thank you, Bengado.
So 21 Jump Street, 22 Jump Street. So somebody else pick a movie that doing. John,
okay, go ahead.
John, go ahead.
I've been talking to him. You guys pick.
All
right. Going with comedies. I'll stick with comedies. Let's see what we got. What We Do in the Shadows was
I've never seen
such a great
I
documentary. That was like Taika Waititi's coming out party. Yeah. And he has been killing it ever since. Yeah. And that was like very in the vein of rock mockumentary.
Yeah, Spinal Tap. This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, this is Spinal Tap. So I absolutely love that one. The Nice Guys, Game Night, Tucker and Dale versus.
Easy.
Got it.
So we'll go that particular movie.
What We Do in the Shadows was on my top. Actually, I actually did a top 10. I actually tried my best to do it. And yes.
But that's a movie that I feel like I haven't seen it, but from everything that I hear,
really?
I haven't.
Oh,
I haven't.
it's so good.
It's like
so
that.
good.
And I reviewed it. That was one of the old.
But what did you like about it?
It was just amazing. It was just, it's like Waiting for Guffman. It was like all these kind of, and I really, I said it on when I did the review. I said I felt like I actually felt for vampires. For some reason.
Right.
I'm like, oh, you know what? Vampires got a bad rap sometimes.
We're not werewolves. We're werewolves, not swearwolves.
Yes.
Yes, yeah. I am going to see it. Did you like that movie?
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan.
Okay.
I love all the Taikas.
I haven't seen the TV show yet. I don't know.
TV show is supposed to be fantastic.
Okay.
I hear it's great. And it's got like Blade on there and like the Twilight vampires and stuff. I hear nothing but good things.
Well, speaking of Taika, what did you? You were a fan of the Mandalorian season finale, right? Okay, good.
Man,
because we had some beef over the Bill Burr episode.
What? I'm in Star Wars. I'm going to Canto Bites. Hey, it's not Star Wars.
There's people who have British accents.
British equals elevated.
But
that's always
that's a ridiculous
it's
comment.
been
That's
the
like
thing.
his ridiculous comment that all directors hate Rogue One.
I did not say that.
You did didn't say that. You said all directors and screenwriters.
I said
director.
good.
Oh, good
It's
directors.
not good screenwriting.
Rogue
It's
One is
not good
fantastic.
directing.
I
I told you I would be. You asked on your top 10 Star Wars battles to do a watch along with someone that didn't like it. Let me know.
Yeah.
With
Because
a take like that, would the Finstock Exchange ever draft someone like this? No.
No.
he didn't know this is Spinal Tap. He's automatically out.
Oh, you're out.
That's like one of those ones you should know off the bat. Offhand. No. I just think the finale was incredible. I just think with Elevated, that's why you see the old epics. They all have English accents. All the Roman epics, it's English accents. Yeah. So we're subconsciously, when we hear an English accent, we think Elevated.
But that's
what
Empire.
he wanted to do.
Mariano here. Huge top 10 fan and longtime Outlaw fan.
Right on, man.
As an advocate for the call to action, I would love to see this bridge get mended. I'll drag Belford and Spence by their schlongs across that line myself if I need to. Happy 2022 all.
There you go.
Here's to you.
Yeah.
Beautiful comments.
Cheers.
Hello,
Cheers.
Nation.
Well, you'll be able to talk to them at the award show because I'm sure a ton of them are going to be there because they are nominated.
great.
They are nominated.
I can't
You're
wait till they
also
boo
nominated.
me if I happen to
they're not
win.
gonna boo. You are nominated for quite a few things.
Yeah, don't tell Janine. She was upset about that.
No,
Moment and entrance.
Moment, entrance, and then teams, obviously, comeback players. No,
I didn't get into the comeback player, which is okay.
You won the title.
I never go away, so I can't be comeback player.
Yeah.
You can, but if you have like a bad season. But I mean, last year you won the title.
Yeah.
Was it? But you know that Jeff Snyder has won a championship in every season he's played in.
Yeah.
Or played in a championship match in every season that he's played in.
And the crazy thing is he's never washed one of the shirts he's won.
But he did sell every single one.
sold
of them.
every single one.
That's spectacular.
I've never seen a grifter become as successful as Snyder.
Snyder, it's true.
But low-end grifter. He's not a high-end grifter.
No, he's right in the middle.
Did you hear about him selling his trophy?
Oh,
His trophy.
Yeah, his DGA trophy for $2.
at his garage sale that he had at the spectacular. Yeah, it was.
Oh yeah, you weren't there at the expo. He legitimately just like brought stuff from his apartment because he's moving and just sold all of it.
You heard about it, though,
He's
right?
a future hobo. I hope we're clear.
Future.
Yeah, fair.
I'm telling you, that bit though, that is like so up my alley.
It's a great bit.
I was like, oh, brilliant.
Yeah, no, well, it's funny because both Megan, who runs the whole, runs
great.
the whole, she's the best.
Megan, much love.
There were about 5 people who wrote me and said, do you know that Snyder's planning to have a garage sale? And I said, if it was anyone else, I would say no. But you got to let it fly. They're like, you're going to let him sell whatever he wants? I go, yes, because it's Snyder. And my wife was like, that's horrible and embarrassing. Don't do that. I go, it's Snyder.
It's brilliant.
Like, it makes so much sense that he would do that because he's the only one. It wasn't like everybody was selling like props from their house. He was selling. I think he sold a pair of like his brother's like cufflinks or something. It was, like,
I would love to get a booth with him at Comic-Con.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
When he was leaving with his massive suitcase of stuff he hadn't sold, I was just laughing.
Oh, it's
perfect.
It's so good. All right, let's move on to RB3. RB3, pick a movie. You got one we can talk about. Let's
one.
Talk about it.
Okay, so I actually do have like an official top 10 list on my channel. First Cut. Me and Ace did a full one.
Ding 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 ding.
Best of the decade. You know, gotta give myself some
nice
shout
plug.
out. But I mean, one of my favorites. I mean, it's less on the comedy side, more on the action side. Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah, it's a good one.
I gotta put
on
that
my
up
list.
there as one of my all time favorite action movies, and also just one of my all time favorite social issues movies because it does have like a lot. It does have a interesting approach to like having a message and what wrapped within this gigantic spectacle. So I'm a big fan of it.
It's a great movie, and I need to watch it again. It's the best Mad Max movie I think out of all of them for sure.
Oh, for sure.
You can make an argument for it, yeah.
Especially when you hear of all the problems that were happening on set with Tom Hardy and like he didn't and
Charlize.
Yes, because Tom,
Really?
Well, they had beef.
Wow. Two different styles of working.
And has since apologized.
Yes, he has.
Because he didn't realize the genius in what was happening and didn't understand it. And I that's why I respect Tom Hardy because like you can have moments like that. You can have things like that, but you also it's the assholes that go, nope, I stand by it. As opposed to let's
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf talked about that while they were doing Fury. Like he came in while he was
not
with
Fury,
a girl.
the Lawless.
Was it Lawless?
Yeah.
He's
Hardy
really
was
nice.
in
Oh,
it.
yeah.
We're not putting him in the Horseman at all.
No, I'm 2 sips of this, I'm done.
I'm very guilty about that, and I won the title. So,
but yeah, he was like Shia LaBeouf was like with a girl, and Tom Hardy came in and started wrestling him. And he was like, "What are you doing?"
It's Tom Hardy.
Well, because people had said that there was this rumor that Shia LaBeouf knocked out Tom Hardy. He goes, "I never knocked him out. We had this fight and fell down the stairs and all this stuff." And it was like, but Tom Hardy was the one walking around saying like, "Yeah, he knocked me out."
Yeah.
Right? And he's like, "I never knocked knocked about.
Give him credit.
That Hot Wings episode with Shia LaBeouf is one of
the greatest,
but not even greatest episode of that show. One of the best interviews I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's such a good interviewer. Chris,
Sean Evans.
Sean Evans.
Yeah,
I was about to say Chris
Get
Evans.
that Schmoedown knowledge up. Come on, man.
Oh yeah, let me get the Hot Wings Schmoedown. Fuck out of here, Aubrey 3.
When are we gonna do a
movie
Hot
release
Wings
dates,
faction?
you motherfucker over
Wait
there.
a minute, I have a great idea. What about RB3 versus Ben Goddard next season?
I would like to call that match, or
about
at
that?
least.
I'm down.
I'm out. I'm all about it. Give me all the
Oh my
smoke.
God. Please, I will call that match or be the reporter afterwards.
I like that match.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Ben, did you know you were going to lose 27-0 Ben, did you know?
Well, because he was,
First fucking episode. I'm just getting shit already.
that's what he does. But he hazes the rooks.
That's right.
That's what he does. He
But I do
hazes
what I
the
love.
rooks. You do. Well, I mean, look, we just talked about what happened with Rach.
That's right.
Okay, so we'll move on to another movie. Because, well, everyone, and unless you want to say anything else about Mad Max.
No, great.
Yeah.
film.
Yeah, I didn't think anything could top Mad Max 2, but that was so good.
So good.
That's my number 4 of the decade.
Of the decade.
Wow.
Wow. What do you have? Let's pick a movie.
Yeah. Let's pick one. Let's talk about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's in my
That's a
top
good
10.
one. 100%.
I mean, you could even argue that's the best superhero movie ever made.
It's definitely the best Spider-Man
or
movie of all time.
Certainly the best Spider-Man movie of all time. But
Yeah.
you could argue best ever made or best.
Sorry, RB3. Spider-Man 3.
Best of the
Spider-Man
last-
2.
Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Doesn't hold up as, I don't think Spider-Man 2 holds up
I'm
as
with
well
you. I'm
as
with
it
you
did
100%.
before.
Spider-Man 2
Yeah.
to me is completely dated.
You
Yeah.
gotta watch that movie again.
I
You
did.
guys-
did.
you
It's
have
Six
to.
months ago.
It's
Spider-Man is definitely
I watched
dated
it
with
yes-
the Power Rangers costume that Willem Dafoe is wearing, but
Yeah.
Spider-Man 2 I
Right.
feel like holds up.
It's-
But
it's
it's not.
CGI.
Spider-Verse is better. Spider-Verse is better.
You lost all credibility to me the second you said that the first episode of The Sopranos is dated.
It is dated. It's not a bad
But
show.
Spider-Man 2 isn't.
I just said it was dated.
You just said
You said Spider-Man 1 was
I-
dated. You
the
said Spider-Man 2
CGI
holds
You
up.
said Spider-Man 2
Spider-Man
holds up.
2 holds up
But
with
Sopranos
the themes and
pilot
like
doesn't.
no, it does not. I'm not saying that it's not a
What you
good
talk-
show.
What are you talking about?
The pilot, the
are you
film
talking
quality, because it's a pilot. You
Yeah.
don't have a lot of money with a pilot. You watch the Scrubs pilot and it doesn't hold up, and you're wondering like, where did this amazing comedy show come from this run-down hospital that they're shooting at?
I don't like you.
I know.
All right. So
Yeah. Spider-Verse is just
Spider-Verse.
incredible
Yeah.
from top to bottom,
It's a
and
great
film.
nobody expected this thing to do what
Yeah.
it did. And look, we've had great feature animated films get released straight to DVD or straight to video. They don't used to get a feature, a theatrical release.
It won the Oscar, didn't it?
It did.
Thank
right.
God.
And,
Yeah.
and
So
they
happy.
didn't think it had any
Yeah.
chance. Like Sony was
Right,
not going
right.
to push it for an Oscar at all. And then the buzz kind of built it up, and it did. And it beat Disney. And that's
thank
pretty
God.
good.
It took me a
Like-
while to get to that one, and even with all the hype, I still loved
It still
it. That
works.
was
Yeah.
Because it's funny. It's
Yeah.
really
Yep.
funny, but it also it's not. It doesn't have that thing to me. What drives me nuts when it just seems like it's going for the joke.
Yeah.
And that's all. Like Ant-Man 2, Guardians 2. Like it's just going for the joke that all day long, as opposed to fit the story, fit the narrative, hit the moments, be funny, and be true to the characters. That's what that movie did. I loved that film. I got to watch it again because I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, my favorite moment was when I don't want to spoil anything, but after someone dies and Miles is like, "You guys don't know how this feels," and every Spider-Man is there. Is like,
Yeah.
we're the only people that know how this
yeah.
feels because everybody of them lost. I was like, that's so perfect. And then you guys were talking about the frame rate thing when they're swinging.
Yes, the difference.
When Peter B. Parker, Jake Johnson is swinging, he's like at a higher frame rate than Miles because Miles doesn't have it down yet. And then once Miles gets it, they're at the same frame rate. It's like little tiny stuff like that. It's
genius.
Such a genius film.
Can I give Saul your phone number?
Oh, sure,
I
yeah.
want to have Saul call in because he just said something that I want him to talk. Here, Saul, I'm going to send you RB3's phone number.
God.
What?
You just you won't let it go.
I didn't say anything.
I know. I have the chat though, so I know exactly what he said. You little dirty bastard.
And I tell you to
Go
stay
look
off
at the chats during the
exactly.
show.
All right, Saul's gonna
Saul
call in.
say?
So I just gave Saul your number. So Saul, go ahead and call RB3. Okay, let's move on to
Do you
another
float
movie.
through the air when you smell a delicious pie? That was my favorite.
I like we don't choose the ball. We just dance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Cage is great.
That's a great film.
It's good. Here's another one. I don't know if anybody's going to put in there, but I think that they should, and that's Mud.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
the
I just
McConaughey
watched that this year.
It's an amazing film, and it was part of the reconnaissance, if you will. And it's it also showed that kid Tyler Sheridan. I think it showcased him,
right?
And he's going to be one of those kids that's around for a very long time. But it's those smaller movies that come out around that time, whenever that movie was released. I think it was October, November, or it could have been earlier, but it wasn't in the thick of the summer and all that. And I remember seeing this back with Ellis, and we were just kind of blown away by this film because it brought back what made McConaughey a star in the first place, showing that he wasn't just a movie star, but he was a really good actor.
Yeah.
And I don't know, there was something about this movie overall that I dug. Did you guys like this movie?
Didn't see that.
You
one.
would love Mud, dude. Holy shit.
You'd really like it.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's a nice, quiet performance because like I feel like with Killer Joe, sorry, and like he's still like McConaughey and True Detective. He's doing all these long monologues. This was a very reserved performance from McConaughey. And like you said, Tyler Sheridan and the other kid, which is I saw him in Justified. He's a really good kid actor too. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought so too. It's fantastic. I mean, it's so good to see what McConaughey consciously did with his career.
Yeah.
Right? He pulled away from all those rom-coms, had a conversation with his wife and with himself about what he wanted out of his career, adjusted, took the smaller films, and of course, it's not going to get as much attention. It's like Peanut Butter Falcon, right? This year, fantastic film.
So good.
Great performances, incredible direction, but no one's talking about it for Best Picture, unfortunately, or nominated.
It was in my top 10.
Yeah, and it's one of those films, Mud is one of those films from that year that's like kind of gets lost in the mix, but is incredible.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay,
Writing it down.
All right, I'm going to move over to Streamlabs because there's so many questions coming in from Streamlabs and Super Chat of movies that you guys want to talk about. So let's go ahead and fire some stuff over there. I'm heading over to Streamlabs right now because if there's certain movies you guys want to talk about that we're not talking about, movies that you want to get our opinions on, get your own opinions out, streamlabs.com/the Schmoedown, and I will get into that. Brian Tucson, by the way, was the put in the SCHMOEBOT before for Roca, talking
nice.
about the singles match. This is from M9. There's been a lot of good movies these 10 years, but specifically there have been some really great horror ones also. Don't Breathe, Conjuring, Train to Busan, Raw, Split, Cabin in the Woods, Green Room, Hereditary, It, and many more. Favorite horrors? It's definitely up there for me. The first one. Chapter 2 wasn't so great.
Yeah.
It Chapter 1 and Conjuring, both of those movies I would put in, it would be difficult to me to take them out of a top 20, top 25, because I remember Conjuring was one of the first horror movies I ever gave a 5 out of 5 to, because I thought that movie was it was everything I wanted it to be as far as on the creep.
It's the only other movie that's done a universe successfully. Everyone else has tried to copy the MCU. The Conjuring has done it. They make like they're just cheap movies, and they make $30 million the first weekend, and they're done.
Yeah, I agree.
Great.
We cannot say Get Out though. Cannot say Get Out.
I was going to mention Get Out.
And would you think Get Out is horror as much as it's thriller?
I personally consider it like horror comedy. So I kind of drift towards if you think of it of it like a comedy, it's also kind of a horror film because it plays on both elements.
Yeah, Get Out.
John, the first have to admit I was one of the many that called for the Horseman breakup mid-last season.
Ooh.
You proved me and all others wrong, and I want to thank you for that.
What else is new? What else is new?
But you remember, for a while, did you think the Horsemen were done? Did you ever think that maybe this thing's not going to work?
I was hoping we weren't done.
Yeah.
I never let the thought of us being done creep into my mind.
Yeah.
Because you can go crazy with that kind of stuff. You just flow with it and see what happens. The Schmoedown comes to you. You don't come to the Schmoedown.
Right.
You can study, you can work hard, but the Schmoedown comes to you because you're never going to know what the questions are going to be.
Right.
Most of us didn't. And so you get that situation and you wonder what's going to happen with it and what's going to go down. But you got to trust in each other. And we had a great conversation, the 5 of us one day, and it just, or not Vince, like the 4 of us one day, we were just hanging out.
John, the first have an observation in regard to the Boston accent issue. What it reminded me of right away was the diner scene in episode 2.
Yes.
This led me to believe that gritty accent is indicative of the harsher, less enlightened lower levels of planets.
Oh, shoot.
Damn.
She's just getting too
But
sexy.
where's Boston in space? Where is Boston in space?
But
You got Cassian Andor in Rogue One, your favorite movie.
How dare you?
I mean, I'm just saying, like, accents are there.
Look,
How dare you?
don't go after the one Latino that got through the fucking gates. For God's sakes, we finally got us in space for the first time in 40
just saying
years.
there's accents. Just saying there's
Yeah, I
accents.
know there is.
Garbage.
Did Saul not call you yet?
No, stop.
Talking about horror, I just want to mention I Saw the Devil. It's a South Korean film.
That's a damn good
and
movie.
It's frightening. It's one of the best revenge movies ever because it just like turns it on its head. Hard trigger warning because there's some solid like torture in there, but it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, you like what you like.
Yeah.
Scarvy Dent, we said that already. Suge Knight 323. John freaking Roca, the outlaw is in the house, and because you're in the house, I will say, blow me, Kristian. So I gotta ask, John. Spectacular was my first live show I ever came to. How the hell did you play that sick? Oh man! Thanks for being the outlaw. Let's go through that because people don't realize that was all legit. We didn't know if you were gonna make it or not.
That was a rough few days. I took days off of work. Yeah. Like I rarely miss work. I don't like to miss work. I like to work, and so. When I went down hard, and this has been happening with my lungs over the last 2 years, which is, I went through all these tests to figure out if I had lung cancer
It's
or
a
not.
fucker, right?
Yeah.
Did you do the scan?
Yeah, the whole scan, the whole nine.
No, I was scared as shit. That's what I was trying. You probably didn't hear me, but what I had almost a year where I was legit freaked out about it, and you seem like you're recovering quite well.
Yeah. I've found a way to go back, because I had walking pneumonia 7 or 8 years ago. Okay. I'm talking too long. Is that what it is?
No. This is what happens.
It's about The Sopranos.
Is this him?
Hello?
Yeah. Hey, hello.
Look at you. This is your first call. This is our first actually legit phone call.
Hey.
Someone's
Nice.
speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him. You either love him or you love him. He is Saul. It's plain and simple. Saul, who's making it very clear to me to know that he's going to be in the draft and I should be talking about him more, that he's going to be the superstar of the league. I can't do that yet. I don't, because I keep talking about Robert Parker and he's upset. He's upset that I'm talking
Who's
about
this
Robert
Saul
Parker.
guy?
You know Saul.
Saul who?
Saul's the guy that yells at people while they're trying to take a piss and saying, "Hey, don't steal bagels." I wasn't gonna call him out, but I know what's coming, so I'm preemptively striking him down.
Saul, so go ahead. If you want to respond to any of that, please go ahead. And if you want to make fun of Ben, go ahead.
Oh, so you heard me in the bathroom because you acted like you didn't hear me.
I didn't hear what you said, but you admitted it, so you know what? We're here, and yeah.
Maybe you guys play first.
Oh, all right. I suspected it such. And what the fuck do you mean The Sopranos is dated?
There you go. That's right. There
The
you go.
pilot.
Right.
I didn't say the show was dated. Watch the pilot again. Watch the pilot.
Gladly.
I have watched the pilot. There's nothing dated. By dated, you mean old-fashioned, out of style. You know that's what you're saying, right?
No, I'm not. I'm saying the film quality, like the TV quality, has improved so much in the last 20 years that it looks dated, as do most shows. Watch the Friends pilot. Watch any pilot from the 90s. Wow. It's going to look dated.
Oh, Roxy just woke up.
So it's not as good as Scrubs. I'm sorry. Jeez.
Oh, yeah, you're right. One of the most successful comedies on network television. You're right.
Are you seriously engaging Sopranos and comparing it to motherfucking Scrubs?
To be fair, Saul. To be fair to Ben, Saul, you did that. You brought up Scrubs.
He brought up Scrubs before.
Oh, you brought up Scrubs before?
Yeah. I'm talking about pilots.
That's where he brought it up.
I'm sorry, Saul. I didn't know that.
That's the first pilot that popped in my head because I just rewatched Scrubs and I was like, how the fuck did this show get picked up? Because this pilot's so rough, but the show is so good.
Rewatch season 2 and 3. You might see a certain outlaw playing an extra through a few scenes.
No shit. Okay.
I did it for 2 years.
In the Scrubs?
It was good money.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Good money.
Nice. Yeah, for
It was
sure.
like $150 a day to sit around in a green room in your Scrubs and get called up every once in a while for one scene.
I definitely will
It's
now.
good money.
Saul, I know that you'll be there at the New York show. I can't get rid of you. But as far as are you coming to the awards?
It does not look like I'm going to be able to make it to the awards. I've been trying to make it work, but it's not looking good.
Yeah,
I was going to contact you about that.
I'm convinced that you're in The Sopranos because he shows up in his Conor McGregor suits and he doesn't we don't know his last name. And he just goes by Saul. It's like Tom and Saul should be drafted together. And he's just and he flies out. He just shows up and it's like wait a minute. This is like Al Capone.
Is Saul the ginger guy? Is he?
He's like Conor McGregor.
He looks like the guy from Game of Thrones. Right?
Who the fuck just said ginger?
The guy's gonna put you in your fucking place. That's the guy who just said you're a ginger. Don't come at me, Saul. I ain't no PA trying to get a job. I will smoke your ass.
Oh, Johnny boy.
You can't insult him.
Is that Johnny boy?
You heard me, ginger boy.
Johnny boy, is that you?
No. It's Johnny Man to you, son.
All right, so look.
Oh, is it
fucking
the guy
Saul.
who's... I promise you, by the end of next season, I'm going to be wearing your fucking hat. I promise you. That
Saul,
hat
did
is
you
gonna
even
be
win the
mine.
fan competition at the expo?
I know, yeah, that's right.
I absolutely did, you motherfucker, you. I absolutely did.
Yeah, he got 3 out of 5 right. He got 3 out of 5. Yeah.
All right, so
I got 5 questions right. I would have challenged the one you didn't give me the point on because it was a bullshit situation and you know it.
Saul's crushing. All right, Saul.
Oh, this was a nice whistle wetter. I'm gonna have to grab one of those beers. Sit back and watch.
Yeah, go get hammer. All right, Saul. We'll see you in a little bit, man. Because I'll let you know who drafts you. Go ahead.
Happy New Year, you motherfuckers. And Roka, that hat is mine.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Roka's
I'm going to bring
hat.
you into the horseman, and I'm going to turn you into my horse and ride you to the ground. So we'll see who's wearing what's hat.
All right, thank you. That was very disrespectful, as RB3 would say.
I got some spurs for Saul.
Good phone call there for Saul.
Yeah.
But yeah, Saul's somebody actually could fit into.
I like him. He's perfect for a horseman.
Man.
Yeah.
I would sit back and not say a word.
Yeah.
I would really do that. Let's all do all
He
the
would
promos.
actually really work in the horseman.
Yeah,
you could see
him and Finstock on a 1-2 act. Good night.
That's what I mean.
That's some legit shit talking, man.
Oh, he can shit talk.
He's the real deal.
Yeah, he can. I mean, his promos already. I mean, it's like I want him to be good because you could headline an event with Saul if he's any good. But 3 out of 5 doesn't give me too much. Oh my god. Well, it's better than 0 for 5. I guess.
He'll climb into Kalinowski's skin and walk around in it for a while. He's so good at it. Kalinowski was so mad for weeks.
Yes. Okay, let's see. So now I want to get to It's Always Sunny in Philly, who says, not a movie of the decade, but last night I watched Code 8 on video on demand. It's a cool independent science fiction action film starring Rob Amell and Stephen Amell, who were backers on it. Has anyone seen or heard of it? It's worth a watch on VOD. Never heard of it.
Well, not to plug, but we had them in for Collider, and they did a nice interview with us and with Coy about it. So there's stuff that you can.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's superhero things.
So it just came out recently.
Yeah, it just came out recently. So they're doing the promo and press for it now.
They did a big. It's one of the big Kickstarter campaigns that happened. One of the not early ones.
Yeah.
But it had a big crowdfunding campaign, and it had like a huge Comic-Con fan following behind it. So
So wait a minute. So they did a crowdfunding thing. So what happened with when Zach Braff did a? Remember how much shit he got for that?
Oh god.
Yeah. Is that just because of the times are different? Because now if he did it, nobody would give a shit.
People didn't understand it back then. I think people people saw Spike Lee doing it. People saw like Zach Braff doing it, and they're like, why are these millionaires going out asking for money?
Yeah.
Right.
It's supposed to be used for like independent filmmaking, but now that times are kind of changing, a lot more people I think are.
I mean, shit. Look at this network.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how the only reason we're able to do it.
My most recent film, Timestamp, was completely funded by crowdfunding. So
awesome.
Yeah, Zach is also an interesting cat. Like he's kind of some people either gravitate or don't gravitate to Zach. It's pretty strong.
People have strong opinions about him dating Florence Pugh too.
Oh yeah,
they have like a 25-year difference or something like that.
Right. She tweeted about it.
I know, and Bonnie's his ex, and she was the one who told me about it.
Oh wow,
because they dated for like a year or something.
Oh, interesting.
She did because she did the soundtrack or the song for Garden State.
Yes, she did.
So
it's a good song.
Interesting, very interesting. You can find out about it on your date. All right.
So back to my bronchitis. No, I'm just kidding.
No, finish your bronchitis.
No, isn't that great?
Should.
That's what happens.
The
Anytime
SCHMOEBOT.
you talk about anything serious,
the SCHMOEBOT will interrupt you.
Bring up somebody dying, SCHMOEBOT will come in.
Yes, go ahead.
Wow.
Tell
No, it was serious. I want people to know there was no freaking, this wasn't kayfabe. It wasn't anything. This was real. I was struggling. I woke up that morning and I texted Dan or Dan texted me first and he's like, can you go? Can you not go? Whatever you decide. I'm dealing with the passing of my grandmother myself. If you can't go, maybe we just kind of have to give up the belts or whatever, and then we'll go get them again. And I looked at my girlfriend, and she just looks at me, and she goes, I'll have to shoot you to stop you from going, don't I? And she's like, and I got, I said, I got, there's no way I can let Dan fight alone or do whatever. Like, I got to go there. So I texted you. I think it was like 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock. I was like, I'll be there. I'll be there. We'll figure it out and I'll be there. And then Chris is like, we're going to do it like this. And I'm like, all right, we'll do it like that. The entrance was planned, but me being sick, that was not planned. Right. And I legitimately, Friday, I was not going to do it.
Right. Yeah.
I was so wrecked on Friday that I thought there's no way. But for whatever reason, the medicine I'd gotten from the doctors, like when I woke up that morning, the steroids, the antibiotics, whatever it is they gave me, like because I had 4 different pills I was taking, kind of kept me going. And I just happened to hit that pocket of time where the pills all hit at the right time. So I had a good amount of 3-4 hours where I felt somewhat decent.
Well, you stuck around though.
I had stuck around.
Well, I know we said you take off, but you stuck around and obviously you saw him win the strap. And it's so funny where you guys go both in the storyline and in for real because there was this rivalry for real as much too because of everything that happened with Top 10 in action. And it's amazing that when you guys paired up, in both story and real, you're like, I don't know about this. Yeah. And now you guys are like frickin' frack.
I love Ben to pieces.
Yeah.
I think Ben's one of the greatest champions we're ever going to have in the Schmoedown because he loves the game. My thing's always been this, and Kristian, you got to respect and love the game. If you don't respect and love the game, I don't want you wearing the belts. I don't want you going anywhere near a belt. You got to respect and love the game. As much like shit I give Kalinowski loves and lives and breathes the game. Those are the people that I give my heart to because they've shown, because I've done that. So if you can meet me at that level, great. If you can't meet me at that level, I'm never going to respect what you do.
Like Smetsy.
Smets.
Yeah.
Fuck, man. There's no one I will fight for harder than Smets.
Right.
Love that
How
kid.
bad do you want him in the exchange?
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Someone brought up this idea that Ben was trying to trade me and Dan for Smets. Ooh. I shot that down real quick.
Speaking of Smets and Rushmore, I think if Alex Damon does good in IG, he's automatically on Rushmore with how he's dominated Star Wars.
If Damon can get himself the Inner Geekdom belt, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I still want that kid.
That's a tough road, though.
I want that Star Wars belt.
You want that belt?
I want that Star. I can't do the IG,
You're
but I
not
want
gonna
this
do it.
All the belts.
It would take so much time.
To be able to beat, I mean, you really, I mean,
Alex Damon
to beat that kid.
Yeah, but would it be the greatest upset? Would it be in my career? Would
anybody beat Damon?
Anybody beat, because I'll tell you right now, as much as like I think Whitwer was great, I think Damon would wipe the floor with Whitwer now.
Yeah.
I think Damon, I don't know if there's anybody out there right now that can beat Damon.
I like that. Those are good odds.
Yeah.
They said the same thing about Dan before I played him the first.
Well, him winning that Dragon Con trivia took him like 6 years. I was like, what trivia is that that took Alex Damon to win?
You know who I think could, if he trained hard enough, could beat him? Smets.
Yeah.
I think Smets really tried hard, I think, and just dedicated himself to Star Wars.
Yeah.
He'd give him a fight. Because Laura Kelly gave him one of the best fights I've seen so far. And Laura Kelly is she's still learning the ropes.
Is she based out of someplace else?
Chicago.
Oh, really?
She came in, she flew in just for both matches. So
kudos to her.
yeah. So anyway, let's get into some more of these things. Rohit. This is from Rohit. Happy New Year, everyone, from Taiwan. That's awesome.
Wow, nice.
I was at a New Year's Eve party at Tapley, and DJ played the Darth Vader theme, which no one other than me understood. What are your favorite, most recognizable themes? Happy New Year. Brett is my hero. Hope he's on the show today. He is.
Thank you.
I'll give you one, and I listen to it all the time, and I had the thank God I was able to do this. I ran into Hans Zimmer at the awards last year for the BFCA, the Critics' Choice Awards.
Nice.
And I told him how much I love Time from Inception. And he's like, I guess everybody tells him that, but it's that's probably one of my favorite themes all time. Yeah.
Ray's theme is one of my favorites. Like I was listening to it like on my drive back from Christmas back home, and it was just like it's so like comforting, but like still inspirational. But with Hans Zimmer, Pirates of the Caribbean, his Pirates of the Caribbean, that first movie is great.
E.T. I think.
Oh, it's a good one.
Yeah, that one. I mean, it just really.
Did you like that commercial?
Sorry,
we talked about it.
Part liked it, and I was like, I didn't like that it was a commercial,
right?
But I did. It was fun.
I almost wanted to see it as a movie.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. I would have preferred it just be a movie and not be like a selling something.
Yeah. I thought Drew was going to do a cameo right at the end.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
I thought with like Reese's Pieces or something.
Yeah.
Like putting it into something, I thought for sure.
That would have been good. You got a favorite?
Superman, I would say every single time.
Yeah.
You're just like, and then you soar. Oh, that's great.
Arby's good.
One of my favorite movies of the decade, I'd put up there as Arrival. And this music right here. Yeah. The ending theme. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Arrival's on my list.
Oh, Arrival. It's on my list. Number 9 for me of the decade.
It's in there. Arrival to me was one of the best movies I'd seen, and it is still to this day, I think, from we'll never really know, but from if you follow science at all and the possibility of time travel and the way time actually works, the most accurate description, a portrayal of how time travel can work.
Yeah, we were talking like Sam Mendes versus Nolan, and Nolan has the edge on him. Like, what about Denis Villeneuve? Because I don't think he's missed with Prisoners, Sicario, Arrival, Blade Runner, Encendies. Like he has not.
He had a miss for me. But
Which one?
Which one?
Blade Runner.
Oh, you're crazy.
You're insane.
Listen,
you're insane.
I don't know how anybody really likes that movie, but that's just.
You want to talk about comfort? I love RB3. This show has brought out just that he's so back. We'll be talking about something we'll just hear. Like, what?
Yeah, sure. My favorite is when he goes disrespectful. That's my favorite. I want to make a shirt that says, honestly, when you play, it should be a disrespectful shirt.
I like that.
If somebody says something to you, like when the shit talk when you guys have too, it's like, he says he's gonna beat me. Disrespectful.
I want that match to happen. Me and RB3. That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. I wonder who would win that. Now, if you start bragging about how well you know names, which you've shit on about 20 of them already, and he starts bragging about how many movie release dates he knows. He had Ben on the show, and he's talking about how he was so great at movie release dates. I think he went like 1 for 9 or something.
Nah, I went like 2. I went like 2 for 6. I went 2 for 6.
No, 2 for 6.
No, 2 for like 8.
Yes,
but
don't lie. That's disrespectful.
No, all the ones I missed were like off by like a year. So
I
took pride with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, it's still not a point.
All right. Speed round too.
That's true. See that guy over there. 2010, The Social Network, 2011. 50-50, that's a good one. 2012, The Avengers, Her, Whiplash, The Force Awakens, Hacksaw Ridge, Logan, Paddington 2, good one. Parasite, overall the decade. His overall the decade is The Social Network for his number 1. Great movies here. I mean, shit, we can get right into
Whiplash was huge for me. Man. That one killed me. That I really enjoyed that.
Whiplash is phenomenal.
Daddy stuff come up?
Yeah, a lot of daddy stuff.
I love, man, Whiplash, the music in that, JK, it was so great. And I think it was a turning point for Miles Teller also.
Yeah, definitely.
He's been in other things for sure, but I mean, there was something about this is that, that's when people started, booking him in more stuff. That movie to me is probably in my top 10, I think, for sure.
It's really great. The one that stuck out for me, though, was Paddington 2. Just because, like, no one thought a CGI animated bear,
or that they would challenge their own win.
Wow. You see what I did there?
Yeah, see, Roka, what I did there was I brought up the SCHMOEBOT, and I said at the end there, actually, he still doesn't know the rules after 6 seasons.
Oh, I didn't even catch that. Actually, great sportsman or doof? We'll talk about it next.
I haven't heard anybody call him doof in so long. It's so good.
Anyway, and there's so many other ones. We'll let RB3 talk about The Social Network. I think that's your number 1 also.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Like I said, I did a full breakdown of like all of these movies on my YouTube channel, First Cut. But for me, I'm just gonna keep plugging it. I'm sorry.
Plug.
Get there.
Did you get my tweet by the way yesterday, or?
I retweeted it.
Oh yeah. I will do a clown outfit if you want.
So RB3, tell everybody what you can do so we can.
All right. So if my YouTube channel First Cut has 450,000, 450 subscribers.
Why are we on your
here?
channel?
No. 450 subscribers. If we get to 1,000, I will come in this show, full clown makeup, eat a bowl of your tuna mac, maybe a bite, but you
tried that? Oh no, the tuna mac.
The tuna mac.
No, not maybe a bite. You gotta have a whole bowl.
The whole bowl. Oh, man, that's
tuna mac and cheese, or just tuna mac?
Tuna with mac and cheese.
All right,
it's delicious.
With cheese.
As a proud Army fan, I'll probably never root for the Outlaw, but I respect Roka.
That's fair.
So my question is for the Outlaw and Roka: how bad will Ben get his butt whooped by Oyama when he faces him in Atlanta?
Oh, well, because Oyama is scheduled to play Bibiani in the number 1 contender match.
Yes.
Winner will play Bateman in Atlanta. Do you think Oyama stands a better chance this time? Because I know you have respect for Oyama.
I got a lot of respect for Oyama. Look, Bibiani was on a tear at the end of the year. I mean, he got shut down that spectacular, but he was on a tear. So which Bibiani we're going to get? The one that got flustered by a challenge against Ben.
Well, he says Oyama's going to.
But that's what I'm saying. He thinks Oyama's going to be. But I don't know. I want to see if Oyama's going to bounce back. Which one of these two guys who suffered a bad spectacular are going to bounce back and show up against each other to get that shot at Ben?
Right.
I don't know. But my money's on Oyama because I like comeback stories. And I think that kid has been unfairly vilified a bit by some of the competitors
I think
who supposedly.
Changed, but I think it's changed.
I thought, but some of the competitors on our side of the ledger get a little too, because a kid comes in and, they're not respectful. And they forget their own stories when they came in. Mm-hmm. And so I think he got unfairly vilified a little bit. But I believe in that kid, and I think he should bounce back, find a strength within himself, and go tear Bibiani to pieces, and then give Ben the game of his life.
Yeah, but you still think Ben will win?
Yes.
RB3, finish what you were saying, then we'll talk about Social Network.
For sure. Okay, yeah. If we get 250 subscribers before the end of 2019, which is I guess technically today, but if we get those subscribers, I will come in here first show of 2020, full clown makeup, tuna mac and cheese.
So get into 1,000 subscribers, guys.
Let's
a full comment.
Right there. Okay.
Scare the shit out of us.
The Social Network. Yes, there we go. to me, it's like the perfect movie. To me, this is one of the movies that really inspired me to go into filmmaking. It's like the merger of having a supremely visual director like David Fincher with a supremely dialogue-driven writer like Aaron Sorkin, and what those two worlds.
Great score.
Yeah, exactly. Great editing. It's probably one of the best edited movies of all time. Cinematography. There was one of the first movies to introduce the red cameras to like the mainstream audience. So they did a lot of things that are really groundbreaking. To me, this is the movie of a generation, and it's still supremely relevant even today. Even as we look at Mark Zuckerberg like on TV now, and with everything in Congress and everything, it's just supremely this. If there's one movie that encapsulates the story of this generation, even at the start of the decade to now, is definitely The Social Network for me.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
Give yourself the horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, give yourself the horn. Absolutely.
That's my number one of the decade.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not outdated.
So my number one of the decade is Inception. Inception
nice choice.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I absolutely love what Nolan did with that world. The way that he set it up, first of all, by putting it out when he did in the summertime, and it was able to still get all that award.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Hopefully this decade will be better than the last 20s that John lived through with the Great Depression. Hashtag salute, hashtag action, army, hashtag I need a beer.
That was Jake Acavetta. That was good. Come on, respect. Respect.
Just took him an hour to text that whole thing because he's so slow. The 20s. I respect it, though. Good joke, Jake. Thank you.
That was a good one. But Inception, to me, you talk about a great score. Overall, what I loved about that movie was that it treated the audience with respect.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I love this. I could just have you people shut up and listen to this thing. But it to me is
okay. Let's be real. What's the best sex scene you've ever seen? Movies or TV?
Oh man, that's from Steez.
I have an easy one.
What do you got? Don't say Halle Berry.
No. That's disgusting.
Jay Washington's thing about Jennifer Lawrence.
I gotta give a shout out to Blue is the Warmest Color.
Oh, you know what? I've never seen that one.
It's on my watch list on Netflix. I need to watch it.
Yeah. But greatest sex scene.
Leah Seydoux. Yeah, man.
Oh yeah,
I respect that.
Whatever that stupid movie is Angelina Jolie did with Antonio Banderas.
Oh, I know exactly.
You know what I'm talking about? The original something
Original
Sin.
Yeah.
That anytime when she was in her like mid 20s,
Gia.
Good Lord.
Just from Gia on.
Gia.
It was all kinds of
Gia.
So good. Okay, thanks for letting us be creeps. Okay, but sorry, back to Inception. Thank you. Inception to me, it treated the audience with respect. It was a blockbuster movie that made you think.
Yeah.
I mean, because still there's people I don't understand it.
I just need to thank all of
they're
you.
going after it.
I've told you all on Twitter that you guys, the Schmoedown, have gotten me through the last month after the death of my big brother. Thank you all so much for what you do, and Happy New Year. Also talk about Ex Machina.
We will definitely talk about
on my
that.
list.
Debbie, thank you. Thank you for being an amazing fan. Of course, I remember you, and of course, I remember the wonderful stories you told us about your brother. Thank you very much. I also can relate, so I understand very much what you were going through, and I'm glad that our show can get you through it. And I hope that next season you're going to have so much fun. We're going to just I can't wait to tell you everything that we're doing. And it's going to be called a new era for a lot of different reasons. The Schmoedown, a new era. The teams are going to change everything. The faction's going to change everything. The draft is going to be so amazing. So back to Inception. It's the introduction of Tom Hardy coming in there. I mean, he was in other stuff, but that was the first time. I remember reviewing it going, I think that English guy was good. And now he's like one of my favorite actors. But DiCaprio continuing on to, once DiCaprio got past The Departed, well, it was The Departed, I think, that turned me around and going, okay, he's not that like whiny, screamy kid anymore.
Right.
And it was Departed that did that, and this movie carried on, because this movie, and I'll just say also another one of my 1 and 2, my number 2 of the decade is Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, that's on mine too.
Yeah. So what did you like about Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh man, look, once again, it's an almost 3-hour movie, and somehow it doesn't feel like that at all. And Scorsese does such a masterful job with the camera, because with we're following along, and it isn't until near the end that the camera stands still, and you go, "We've had enough." The camera has tamed you. It was so brilliant.
Get
the way
the loot.
By the way, that should be your acting exam to get out of an acting school. Play that scene as
so
well
good.
as DiCaprio played it, from phone to the car.
Let's do
Play
the car,
it as well as he did.
that car scene.
Yeah,
oh my God, it's so good. But like, all of it. That whole movie, and I every time I talk about this movie, I always go over the quote that DiCaprio said about Scorsese, and he's like, he's 75 years old and he's still making punk rock.
Yep,
because that is a punk rock song. That whole thing. Yeah. But did you? You haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it, but like just how energetic a filmmaker Scorsese is. Like like at his age. Like same with Mad Max Fury Road. Like this guy, like George Miller went into a. Got it.
No, I just want to help you.
I got it. Went into the desert and everyone thought he was crazy, and he made this amazing film. Yeah. And same with, I haven't seen it just because I didn't like it supporting Jordan Belfort, because I know he was in the movie as well, and I read an article saying his daughter
he's in the very end of it.
Oh, right.
His
daughter
said her own dad is Jordan Belfort and like stole his identity like 3 times, like crazy stuff. So I need to watch it.
You need to watch it because it doesn't.
I know
it certainly doesn't idolize him.
No.
I know, but like just reading that article, I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I didn't know all
it's
this.
like Joker. You can choose to idolize or not idolize.
That's right. It is
your choice.
Yeah.
But it's different than Joker.
It's like watching Scarface.
It is.
Like there's people.
It's different because he's a real person that affected real people.
100%. Yeah. But I mean, but it's also it's like it's you see, if you go down this lifestyle, like shit goes sour.
Right.
And Margot Robbie is oh my god.
I know I need to see it. Just like Scorsese's like such an energetic filmmaker that he can make so many 3-hour movies that do not feel like 3 hours. Like they just go like that.
That's the sexiest Margot Robbie. That's the sexiest woman I've seen on screen.
Yeah, she's, for sure. What did I just watch? Oh, we watched Once Upon a Time in America again. Yeah. Even she's
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah. I always say that. I said Once Upon a Time in America. I said it last night. My mother-in-law was like, "What's that one?"
The one with De Niro.
Yeah, it was like the old school one. And I was like, no. Once Upon a Time. Oh, I loved that one. Yeah. So
can I say some words on Wolf of Wall Street too?
Yeah.
I mean, before you move on. But I personally love this movie too. This was like my number 6 of the decade as well. Yeah. And I think it just shows like materialism and wealth like in a really like insightful way.
Longtime fan and supporter of Outlaw Nation and Top 10. Thank you all for making me laugh even through the hard times. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Lewis. That was from Lewis Chelsea.
Thank you, Lewis. Respect. Thanks for coming along the ride on both those shows.
Yeah.
We love you.
That's true. So yeah, is that it?
Yeah, okay. I had an extreme example, but let's
all right. So did I already do CD cat guy over there? Did I do that one already?
What did he ask?
Oh, yeah. Okay. Paddington 2. Okay, this is Brian Tucson who put in the SCHMOEBOT. Hey, Mando. That's really funny. Hey, we talk about what's his face? Jake Carnivale, who's the worst, the worst actor in the world.
Oh, okay.
He's a terrible
So you're
actor.
okay with Burr, but you're not okay with Carnivale?
Burr's not a bad actor. Dude, Jake Carnivale.
It's because Burr plays himself.
Hey, Mando. Yeah, let's have a drink. Hey, Mando. Where's my blaster?
Choices by you guys. But for me, some of favorites of decade that deserve some is X. Machina, Toy Story 3, The Wolf of Wall Street, Her, Moonlight, and Inception. Happy New Year, everybody.
Happy New Year, man.
RB3 hope to bring Sabrina in Sen anytime soon.
Sabrina?
Oh, Sabrina's my co-host on The Meaning of and everything. Yeah, I mean,
we just bring her in.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah,
I didn't. When did you guys add another co-host?
This year.
Okay.
Yeah, we're trying to shake things up.
Awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, we'd love to have her on if you want to have her on.
100%.
That's something I guess we should talk about behind the scenes.
Well, but for sure.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. The fans are asking for it.
Yeah. Sure.
Her is great.
Have you seen F is for Family with Burr, the animated show?
No.
You watch it. It's fun. It's a little Netflix animated show. He's good.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the guy can't act. I'm saying the guy does the same thing in everything he does. So you're going to bash Carnivale. Carnivale was doing his thing, but so was Bill Burr.
Dude, but
why they give him a Canto by reference?
That kid is so.
Burr is funny.
And he's. I don't know how I went down a rabbit hole on his Instagram.
Carnivale?
Weird shit going on in that kid's Instagram.
Bill Burr also had the best line. Like,
hey gang, it's Haskell. I have more than this, but off the top of my schlong gotta go with Warrior Avengers Arrival, Logan, Infinity War, Endgame, John Wick Trilogy, and yeah, I cheated Thor Ragnarok, Free Solo, and Schnepp's Death of Superman Lives What Happened.
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Nice.
A lot of good ones in there, and we're definitely gonna cover some of those also. We only have an hour left, and I say an only.
Oh my God!
I know it's not only because there's so many more movies to cover.
Scorsese films,
but let's get back to. We'll talk about Carnivale some other time. CD Cat guy over there did that. Brian Tucson said he put in the SCHMOEBOT. Hey Mando said Roca. Respectfully, I think 4 was a perfect spot for Revenge of the Sith on the Collider rankings. The relationship between Anakin and Obi-Wan was better than anything we got in the Disney movies. P.S. Star Wars question for Kristian: does Vader have a metal schlong? I don't think so. I think he got burnt off.
Yeah.
This is what I was talking about with RB3.
Yeah.
About did you crush that?
He was like,
I just thought that was really funny.
Should I make a bear run or no?
This beer's in it. You want a beer? Yeah. But no, as far as the RB3 and I were talking about this before we went on air. I still think that the prequel story, the entire story from start to finish, is a much better story through line than what happened in these new.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
The scripts just happen to be shit, and the direction of the actors were shit. Right. But it is a significantly better overall star. I mean, that's a given with George Lucas knowing the actual story itself. And there was a plan.
Yeah.
There was a plan for the prequels from now. Granted, it significantly changed.
Right.
Because originally he wanted to have Anakin as a teenager, which is what he should have stuck with, and then a lot of his friends are like, keep him as a teenager. Now I'm making him a kid. Do not do that. Make him a teenager. This is all in Chris Taylor's book too.
Yeah.
Fantastic book.
It's such a good book. So it's yeah, I mean the prequels are the intentions in the story was good. The execution was bad for me.
Yeah, I think people love Sith because of that last hour. And they give it put it 4. I don't think it's 4. Sorry, I don't think it's 4 overall. No. The original. I think Rogue One is right there. Any of the newest ones in prequels included, Rogue One is 4 right below the original trilogy.
I do rank. I'm not gonna rank all the movies, but I do rank Revenge of the Sith higher than Last Jedi. But I think that's a given for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The last conversation Obi-Wan and Anakin have when Obi-Wan's about to go on the ship, and he's like, just be patient. Things will come to you. Like things are gonna turn out right. Like that's a great scene. And then when Obi-Wan's like, you were the chosen one. That's the best acting in the entire trilogy.
Yeah, when they're fighting at the end.
When he's screaming at him like, oh, you were supposed to bring balance to the Force, not destroy it. And
he never liked him, by the way.
Gotta get
belief.
something out of the way before the end of the decade. I agree with Ben Goddard entirely on Rogue One. You're probably waiting for a punchline. Nope. Just a schlong take on a beloved movie.
Yeah, that's fair.
Thank you.
That's fair, but you're not on the air every day, so you don't have to deal with it.
Wait, you don't like Rogue One?
He hates it. He thinks it's terrible.
I have to honestly say that one of my favorite movies of 2019 and the last decade was Dragon Ball Super, Broly. Because it took a character that I hated for the better part of 20 years, Broly, and made him into one of my favorite in the series.
Okay.
No, that's a great film. That's a great animated.
Is it really
Dragon
good?
Ball?
Okay.
Dragon Ball's
Not Dragon Ball Evolution, not the live action one. I don't know if you're
not
thinking
that thing.
I haven't seen Broly. I don't watch it.
It's good though.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, it's for Dragon Ball Z fans. So
Yeah.
if you like Dragon Ball Z, you'll love it.
All right.
I can't.
All right. Let's see. I want to go back to.
Can't like Dragon Ball Z?
No, it's not my jam. I think I missed the window.
Yeah, me too.
Same. That's exactly how I feel.
No offense, Dave, but
Sam W. Hey, John, does the Cats movie still haunt you in the night? that movie pissed me the fuck off. The girlfriend took me. We thought it would be funny bad. She found funny. I don't know what I felt. It was the worst movie of the decade, easily. Is it really that bad?
I walked out of that thing.
Yeah.
I don't walk out of movies.
You walked out how long into it?
Hour and 15 into it.
Wow.
Roxy claims I walked out an hour into it, but I went. By the way, and I got altered before I got in there, thinking I would enjoy the experience. I was getting angrier as the film went along, and I was like, I can't.
So
I don't give a shit about anybody.
Did you think it was
going
to be funny?
Yeah, I thought it might be cheesy, dumb, right?
What's so bad about it?
Does anyone else here feel like Ben Goddard is a little outdated?
Hey, for $20, I'm okay with that. I am wearing a denim jacket right now.
You are. And a denim, denim on denim.
Why is it so
Canadian
bad?
tuxedo.
Why is it so bad?
Because there's nobody to cheer for or root for, and every person who gets introduced, aside from, fine, every cat is an asshole, except for Ian McKellen. Just about everyone, Dame Judi Dench. Everyone else is an asshole, and there's weird kind of triangle possibly happen, but you have no idea. A cat gets dumped, and you have no idea why it got dumped. And then the cat just meets all these weird people. And then they turn the faces of the mice into children, and the cat eats the mice. Perfect. The children faces. You're just like, what? And the cockroaches have faces. It's beyond.
Jay had a big problem with the cockroaches have faces too.
Yeah.
It's weird, man. Yeah. Not weird a good way.
Now I heard that even the musical isn't that great.
Yeah, people said
it just kind of became a thing. Like you had to see Cats.
How's Jennifer Hudson's rendition? Did you take off before that?
I liked it. I saw the first part of her rendition. I didn't see the second, like when she does the full thing.
Okay.
So I just couldn't anymore. As soon as I saw Taylor Swift, I was out. Like I was like, okay, I've seen everything.
You heard Makuga's hot take on Taylor Swift.
No,
right?
what did he say?
That she's a better musician than Prince.
Oh, come
Jesus.
on.
Oh no.
Garbage.
Yeah. And he was dead serious. I gave him shit about Clara Lock. No, dead serious. And he sticks by. Bring it up.
Sorry.
Bring it up. When
You
he comes back
can't
in
put hearts over your eyes when you're writing your songs and think you're a better musician than Prince.
Well, I don't think she said it. I think he said it.
Well, you know she's got hearts all over her notebooks.
That
Maybe
is,
so. Yeah, that's a
schlong take.
Take.
Is
It
that?
Holy
is.
fucking shit.
Uh-oh.
Kristian, you have no idea how much you and your content has helped with my depression. You guys are helping a dude in India to feel a little better about himself.
Thank you.
And you have Roka on today? I definitely need to support you guys now.
Well, thanks.
Oh, thanks, bud.
So much. All the way from India. That's awesome.
I gotta say, like this kind of stuff that we've been getting.
Yeah.
This has been my therapy for the last 2 months. This is coming in here. I came here this morning like with a vigor that I haven't had in a long. I'm like, 2020. We're bringing this in, and people are sending these beautiful notes and things like that, and helping with depression, positivity,
Yeah.
and I just I love that kind of stuff, and I'm
too.
so happy that we're doing that for you.
Yeah, me too. Okay, thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. And this is Wiley Todd. Yes, two of my favorite people, both Roka and Kristian. Just wanted to say I love the Cinephiles. And also, RB3, can we get Sabrina from Final Cut on SEN, please? And can we talk Silver Linings Playbook? One of the best. Two questions about Sabrina.
Yes.
Question one, can we get her in 2020?
Sure.
Question two, what's her trivia like?
I don't know about her trivia. I don't know.
How do you not recruit somebody for me? Come on. you know I'm looking for some new peeps.
You still looking for more?
Yeah. Wow. Always. Dude, there's 140 people in the draft.
Yeah.
We should do. I know it's your league, and we should do a live show where we have people show up to audition to be part of the show.
It's already like one of the main things I want to do is I've always wanted to do. I've told you this. I want to do an Ultimate Fighter / American Idol type show where we find people, because there is somebody out there right now who has no idea this show exists, who has the knowledge base of you or Rachel or Dan, someone who's just a big movie fan in Kansas somewhere. Yeah. And they have no idea the show exists, and we could turn them into one of those the next Rachel Cushing, the next John Roca. You know, it's like that's kind of what I'm looking to do. So
and I will say to follow up on that question, Silver Linings Playbook, top of my list.
Oh wow.
Really? Yeah. That movie hit me in so many ways with the depression and the feels and stuff, and I just really loved it.
That's why I put we've had this ongoing debate on this show about Kristen Stewart. Yeah, and RB3 puts her in the
I say top 10 of the decade
of the new actresses. New actresses. I think she's really good, but I don't. He doesn't rank her over Jennifer. He ranks her over Jennifer Lawrence. I do not. Man, that's tough. I think Jennifer Lawrence has had more to do with stuff on her back. The only thing that puts Kristen Stewart up there is that Jennifer Lawrence has been known a couple times just phoning in when she's not interested.
More than a couple times.
Yeah. That X-Men Apocalypse thing.
You could tell in that last movie she was just like, I don't want to do this movie. You paint me like blue like a Smurf for a mountain.
Even movies that are like supposed to be her thing, like Red Sparrow. I felt like she even phoned it in that.
Really?
Yeah.
You thought she phoned it in for that?
I liked it. I thought she was good in that.
I thought she was good in that.
I thought I was underrated that movie.
I think she was starting to repeat herself. I think that's what was the problem. People were starting to be like, "Oh, we've seen this before." Yeah. Like if you watch Joy,
Joy's the best movie I've ever seen.
I was gonna say, you watch that Joy?
Wow! I'm just kidding.
What?
I'm just kidding.
You see Joy, and she looks, and she's
I got you that twice. I got you that the other day with that.
That's just weird.
She plays the same character in Joy that she's played in other films. So there's nothing unique. But with Stewart, I like what Stewart's doing because she is challenging herself a lot and interesting independent films, foreign films.
Yes,
she is damn good.
Yeah, I just can't get over that Sundance speech.
Oh, that's fair. Oh, yeah. And Charlie's Angels is a shame that fell apart on her watch, and I think it's a shame that she did the Twilight with Pattinson because she'd be an incredible Catwoman versus Pattinson as Batman. I think that would be an incredible.
I was hoping they would cast him just for the headlines because I know how good they would be together again. Yeah. I was hoping so hard for that.
Yeah, but the only reason you do that, you can't do that, is because then it turns into Twilight.
Of course,
of course.
Yeah.
Call to Action put in a SCHMOEBOT. White Women put in a SCHMOEBOT. Apache 2895. With the end of the year approaching, what are y'all's favorite albums of the decade? Oh man,
yes.
Let RB3 answer this one. Mine would have to be Monolith of Inhumanity. Body by Cattle Decapitation. All right. Have a happy new year and hope the show goes full speed ahead into 2020. Well, thank you so much. Let's let RB3 answer that.
Well, this is mostly in the hip hop R&B vein, but I'd put Kanye West is My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy up there. Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly. I put Frank Ocean's Channel Orange up there as well. SZA's Control. There's a few that I'd put like really, really high up there.
There you go. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. I love it when Roka goes full Pessy from Goodfellas. Me too. Knapsack's Ponytail back in the chat. Somebody brought up a Survivor Series type match in the Schmoedown. Long-term booking. A divided faction with the advisor taking 5 players and the manager taking the other 5, making a 10-player elimination match. Winner gets a full control of the faction. People have talked about this Survivor Series thing for a while, and I've thought about it, but I just don't know how to do it yet. But we'll see. We'll see what happens.
It could be a Legends thing.
I know. I was maybe like an exhibition or something.
Like the Old Horsemen versus the Lion's Den.
Right. That'll be a what if. That'll be like a what if match. Yeah. Arcadio Castellanos. I see that Ben is making an effort trying to rehabilitate his bagel thieving image with these gifts the last 2 days in a row, and I commend him for it. Is that what it is? Is it to show that you know?
No,
did you steal this stuff? Is that what happened?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that makes sense. So he steals bagels. That's why we.
Why do you steal bagels?
I don't steal bagels.
Did you not steal a bagel?
No.
Are you Jewish?
Wait a minute. Don't lie.
Did I eventually pay for it?
But initially, did you steal it?
By accident, yes.
By accident.
Yeah.
By accident.
I do think that's.
Oh yeah, this is the bagel song.
Oh,
they made
shit.
the song about him. This is a rap song that they made us.
And this is
Matthew
so good.
It's so good.
This is album of the decade.
We play it every day.
This album of the decade right
here. Here you go, John. Listen to the lyrics.
I ain't no frame, you ain't freezing my rate. Best believe you can't eat on my plate. Nah, best believe I got thoughts. Bonnie and the smoke bar, they jump on the chin, I won't ballin' like Cade. I'm teaching my son, yeah, but going on dates. I'm taking your money to buy me some chips. I'm stealing your bagels and stealing your bitch. Are you seeking the characters?
That is awesome.
It's really good. You got to listen to the whole song. That's going to be his song when he comes out to the Schmoedown.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah. It's actually great. It's a great song. Like if you turn out to be good and you actually like headline an event.
I'm telling you, like I'm getting if I ever headline a live event, Matthew Reed, it's going to be like Lil Wayne and Floyd Mayweather. He's going to be rapping out in front of me.
It was like David B. when he played the corruption theme.
Right.
That was great. John Mariano put in a Schmoebot. Kyle Beckworth. Roka and Harloff, 2 great personalities. They collide. See what I did there? My favorite moment of the decade, the dusting at the end of Infinity War, was so expected. Happy 2020. Wow. Yeah, I mean, out of the Marvel movies, the ones I think that could make it in there, we were talking about this, is the Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame, and Winter Soldier. Those are the ones that make it in there for me.
Mm-hmm.
Black Panther might probably have a spot up there too.
Okay.
Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one. First one was so unexpectedly good.
Yeah.
I would throw that in for comedies. Like you guys mentioned 21 Jump Street. All that's a brilliant comedy on so many levels. But I'd say Endgame over Infinity War, just for what they were able to do.
Yeah.
And the decision at the end. Just the guts to do that with a franchise. I'd never seen that.
Well, it's one of the reasons it was on my top 10 is because of what I said yesterday was that a lot of times what a lot of these movies do is that because of the budget that it has, that it focuses more on spectacle and less about character. And I think this was a perfect blend of all of it. Endgame, that is. It blended, it focused on characters, developed characters that we already have been developing for so many years, and it further developed them, which is hard to do in franchising and in movies in general. So, okay, let's see. Now we get to, well, good. Bill Cosby's in the chat again. He says the
Awesome show to end the year. Was just wondering how much thought John Roca put into his promo in Orlando, or was it off the cuff? It was the best promo of his career. And top 5 of all time. Wow. Love to hate you. Happy New Year. Much love to all of you.
Who was nice? It was Billy.
Billy.
Hey, come on, respect.
All right.
Gave you props on your promo.
I appreciate it, Billy.
Your Orlando promo did. My mom was in the crowd for that.
Oh,
she
really?
Loved,
that's right.
Yeah, she loved the promo.
I'll tell you.
You had a great. Did he steal your keys?
No, he's already on his 3rd beer.
That makes sense.
No, I never plan out my promos because I never know what the result of the match is going to be.
Right.
So it's always off the cuff. When I broke down, that was authentic. Right. And then when I said what I said,
the pre-interview, the pre one was great.
The
bitch I was formed in war. That was one of my favorites.
All of it didn't make. Coming up with it as I was walking to the ring.
That was great.
I knew I'd seen the tweet the day before, so I was like, "Oh, I'm going to use that. Somehow I'm going to use that."
Yeah.
And Dan started it out perfectly. I didn't know I was going to stand in the back of the audience till I was walking up there. And I was like,
I was worried about that at first too. I told you that.
Yeah.
So when you had, I was like, oh, he's not going to do the whole thing with his back turned to it. And then when you bitch, I was Forged a Warrior Eternal. That was a great promo. If you haven't seen Roka's promo from Orlando, please go and check that out. It's really good. If you haven't watched the Schmoedown, go and check it out, man. It's really we're gonna and especially now. Someone wrote me, there's a lot of new because of this show. And for obvious reasons, we just can talk about it more on this show, And so there are a lot of people who have come and are joining it, and like even the guy who calls himself Suge Knight, he's a brand new fan, and he found and he's a big Schmoedown fan now, right? But someone wrote to me, what happened? What'd you do? Did you choke on the...
thinking about Suge Knight being in the Schmoedown.
That's Prosecco's
I see him hanging Finstock off a railing.
Yeah, it's true.
Sign, you're going to sign away the horseman.
That's right. But no, having these we have a lot of new fans because of it. And I got a couple tweets from people who were asking, and they were like, well, where do I start? Do I be lost? I'm like, not this year, man, because with the draft and everything coming up, that you're going to get... This is the best way to get into it because of all these... You're going to see the formation of all these new factions and teams, and it's going to happen on January 11th at the Comedy Store. If you're around 12:30, both the awards and the draft happen. You can get tickets to schmoedownlive.com. Come and check us out.
This is a lot of work for somebody to do, but are you familiar with the Cliff's Notes that you used to get?
Yeah, of course.
Oh my God.
Is there a Cliff's Notes version of doing all of these
matches?
Yes.
You can actually go to, someone has been doing this since the beginning. You just go to Schmoedown Wiki. And it has the list of all the seasons, all the matches, all the title matches, the history of the Schmoedown, all of it. It's got all the history of the factions. Like all you got to do is just type in Schmoedown Wiki, and it's got all the history of the Schmoedown. It's really I use it all the time.
This is Nerd Chronic, Eric, right?
Yes.
You don't have enough to do, Eric. You should do that every season. Just compile the whole thing for every season.
He's working on something. He just told me he's almost done with something that I'm going to release very, very soon.
He's always so busy, man.
He is haunted. Oh no, let me go back to the Bill Cosby. By the way, the SCHMOEBOT voice is too sexy for his pudding pop. All right, that's fine.
That needed to be read.
Haunted. Oh my God, Roka. He's what got me watching the Schmoedown in the first place. I love him.
Thank you, man.
Question for Roka: can you tell what ethnicity Ben Goddard is? Oh, that's a good.
I just asked if he was Jewish.
What do you think he is?
Mexican.
Whoa!
Wow.
I didn't know that, and I made a big deal of it.
But also,
oh yeah, that's right. He said something else.
I don't know. Irish, maybe.
No, he steals
what?
French.
Yeah, he
French.
steals bread.
Oh yeah.
He likes
That bagel is not yours.
Yeah, right.
That bagel is
It
mine.
would have been a baguette, but he only had bagel.
can you guess my nationality?
White.
Yes. Transparent.
That's right. Today, Brett, we are the minority. All right. All right.
No, yesterday. Oh, brother.
And RB3 was like, why wasn't I on that show?
Oh, dude, RB3. That was so fun.
Those two guys. I love those two.
Oh, yeah.
Winston and Jay are
They're
great.
really good together.
I've been bringing them on Sports Time lately.
Yeah.
Best episodes, most fun at least I've had on those.
Winston brings the happiness out of Jay.
Yeah.
Not
easy to do.
No, that was a ride, man. That was so fun.
Yeah.
We're going to be on Sports Time.
Yeah.
Haven't you been on?
I thought you've been on once.
No.
You haven't been on yet?
No.
All right. I'll bring you
There
on.
you go.
Damn.
See?
I'll bring you
Well,
on.
as soon as you put me in one of your films,
I got you, Brad.
I will 100% audition too. You don't have not straight to. I will audition for a part.
If you audition, Brett, you're done with this show.
No. I would never audition.
But trust me, I can do serious,
Yeah.
and I would be honored to be in a film that you
There
make.
you go.
You got it. You got it.
Apps and good. What's up, SCN? Okay, this is all fun and all, but why does John Roka look like Walter Matthau from Grumpy Old Men?
Walter Matthau.
Yeah.
Did he say Matthew?
No, I did. I definitely JT that one. Yeah, Matthew.
I don't. I look way younger than he
Yes,
does.
I mean,
So suck it.
Give him some fucking
Right,
credit,
Right,
man.
right.
No wife, no kids, no wrinkles.
Yes.
That's it. A lot of StreamLabs.com here. Sorry, StreamLabs.com/the Schmoedown. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Don't forget Sing Street. Great movie.
Great movie.
And Nightcrawler.
Good
for this
soundtrack.
one.
Oh, yeah.
Two good ones. Let's talk about those. Also,
Yeah.
what's up, John Roka is what he says. So let's talk about why was so in Nightcrawler. By the way, he didn't even get nominated, right?
Nope.
What a bunch of bullshit that was.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of.
I mean, one of the performances of the decade.
This is what I've been
We're one
saying.
beer away from drunk reviews from Brett without any acting required.
Absolutely.
But you don't know Brett too well. We're about 20. We're talking about 20 beers away.
Yeah. This is just a breakfast.
These are the trailers. This is the trailer before the. No, I'd agree. I'd say. What were we talking about? Sing Street? Or what were we talking about?
Either one. You can pick Sing Street or the other one was
Nightcrawler.
Nightcrawler. Yeah, and this is what I've been saying. I said this on Movie Talk a couple of weeks ago. I think these categories now have to start expanding to 10.
Right.
There's way more materials, way more movies than there used to be before. All the streaming service, all the studios. There's way more opportunity for these actors to be highlighted, and actors from different countries, like Parasite, like all these different things that are in there. They need to expand. It doesn't mean you have to nominate 10 people, but you should make that option open. And it's frustrating to me that I get the scoff from so many people who supposedly know a lot about awards when I mention these things, because I think it's important. And I've heard the argument, oh, well, it takes away the nominee, the exclusivity of the 5 nominees. It doesn't. Just to be nominated is enough. Yeah. No matter whether you're part of 5 or part of 8, you're still 8 of like hundreds or thousands of performances from the year. So it still matters. So I just think it's frustrating because I think something like that gets lost in the mix. Dark Knight back then in 2008, it's frustrating.
I loved that movie, man. Nightcrawler. I thought he was so good. And Rene Russo doesn't get enough respect for that role either in Nightcrawler. And the other one, what was the first one?
Sing Street.
Sing Street. That was a. There you go.
Yeah, comes on Chilton.
Don't get
We will
copyright
extend the show by an hour to accommodate the length of his promos. We're that nice now. Truly, though, Happy New Year's, Outlaw. Much respect and love to all. Even Bagel Boy.
Come on.
Who was that?
That was Call to Action again.
Yeah. Which one?
That was Paul Denise.
And
Paul and Billy and Jake all coming along. No James Spence.
Of course not. He's too busy jacking off into a mirror.
He's been getting very nice SCHMOEBOTs.
Yeah, he really has.
He's been
I think the SCHMOEBOT's
comments.
terrified of him.
Yeah. Because they know I'll find them.
They're scared of the outlaw. But yeah, anyway, so
thank you, Paul.
Sing Street was so unexpected because I expected like just kind of 80s cover songs, but the original music, like it sucked that movie didn't have more money to promote Drive It Like You Stole It, because that was the song of the year.
That's the song of the summer. That was the song of the summer.
It was so good.
Sometimes you hear a song and you know, okay, I'm going to be listening to that for a long time. I put that immediately on my workout mix as soon as I left the theater. As soon as I found that song, I was like, boom, it's a cardio. It's a perfect cardio song.
I think Goddard might be right, though, about the
strike.
Because
I streamed last.
It's not a strike; it's just demonetized.
I know, I streamed last night, and like the fair use way if you're talking over played music. Like I put the stream as private after I was done, so I wasn't going to publish it. Right. I got 30 emails. All copyright, I didn't get like a strike on my channel, but like the video got deleted.
Well, that's the same thing for we're uploading all the seasons 3, 4, and 5 to the channel, and a lot of this because we're going to original music next year for this one. We're not doing any other, and a lot of these. It was funny because when we were doing them on Collider, they weren't getting any strikes because we were talking over them, but I guess it's just changed now, right? Yeah. But if you notice, if you're watching on the replay, there's snippets of the show where it just is muted.
Yep.
Because I'm just removing the songs so we can.
You've got amazing musicians now that are contributing.
David B. Well, I mean, look, Matthew Reed, David B. There's so many different people that are doing stuff, but David B's been doing a lot of our original music, and like he's done so many of the themes, like the corruption theme is so good.
Yeah.
Corruption theme is so good. Yeah. I know. Well, we
got a horse.
Let's talk real quick before we get into
this. I asked for my man Brett. Thank you for acknowledging me with your answer. I should have mentioned you too because your comedy helps me too a lot. It does. You ever perform stand-up in India? You have an audience member already.
Oh, that's nice. That's awesome.
It helps you to A a lot?
I'm telling you what, these comments, and I get personal messages from people, and I show them to my wife, and you are helping me. 100% what I've been dealing with lately, and I appreciate that, and I wish I could go to India.
This is the wrong time to tell you this is your last show today.
Yeah.
Oopsie. Sorry about that. I really liked what.
Are you still working at the Arts Museum?
Yeah, not as much.
Right.
Oh, okay.
No, we're
working on.
I'm working on coming here full time.
Nice.
That's
for those of us drinking at home, and by that I mean Nebraskans, I'm pretty sure Brett is good. By the way, thanks for inspiring me to get out on the local Omaha scene and work on stand-up consistently through the past year.
Omaha's a good scene. That's a good stand-up scene.
Is that where? That's where Brad is doing his shit, right?
Yeah. Omaha is. I mean, you got Omaha or Lincoln. I mean, you're limited.
Let me ask a question here too. What's your out here today, RB3?
I don't have it.
Does anybody have an out?
Let's do a 3-hour show.
if we're doing
I'm
all
100%
you got it
down.
now?
I'm good.
All right. Well, we're gonna
Broca's
go.
like, I ain't signed up for this.
No, you're good. Yeah,
You
okay.
can bounce if you need to.
No, I can stay.
You're good.
I want to stay. This
Yeah,
is
for
fun.
you.
Can
Yeah.
I get some water?
Of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Sure.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah.
Go in the fridge.
No,
So-
here, I grabbed you one.
Oh,
Yeah, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go.
I'm
we
down.
have so many movies to talk about,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you guys are here, so we're just gonna do
New Year's Eve.
It's New Year's
We
Eve. It's the last
may
show.
need a little pee-pee break.
We might, yeah. Well, if you got to pee, we'll go through it and whatever too. But we want to do this last show for you guys. So there's no timeline on it too. So you guys keep the questions coming. We'll answer them until they're done. So
And I
we'll
may
talk about
start
movies.
crying here pretty soon.
That's good. But I did
were you
want to
gonna
ask you about
ask?
the draft. The
Okay.
draft. So there's right now, because Jay Washington now is going to be he's going to be advising to Winston on swag. So there's only nine managers now.
Yeah.
So now we have the ranking order will be number 1 is Sam Levine, number 2 is Roxy Stryer, number 3 will be Coy Jandreau. 4 is Kaiser, but he won't pick because of Smets in the first round. 5 is Dagnino, who won't pick, obviously. 6 then will be Shannon. 7 will be Winston. 8 will be Emma, and then 9 will be Burnett. I think Burnett and Emma are in a good spot because of the snake draft.
You never know, like in fantasy,
Yeah.
choosing last in the round because of the snake draft can actually be a positive for you if you know all the players
Right.
and who to pick.
Right.
So if you
I
do
think
your
Emma
research,
Emma's got a better shot than Burnett.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Burnett's too busy worrying about Star Trek. He can't
Yeah,
focus
Okay.
on it.
One last question before I leave.
Okay.
What's the best TV shows of the decade?
Oh.
1. Parks and Rec 2.
Yep.
When They See Us 3.
When They See
Community 4. Barry 5. Watchmen 6. Atlanta 7.
Wow.
The People vs. Simpson 8.
Wow.
Rick and Morty 9.
Oh, Game of Thrones?
The Good Place 10. Brooklyn 99.
Those are
Didn't
good.
have Game of Thrones in there?
No.
It's not.
I put Game of Thrones.
Or The Crown. I'd put The Crown in there too.
Yeah, I put Watchmen.
Is Breaking Bad? When did Breaking Bad end? Did he say Breaking
It
Bad?
ended in 2013, but it started in 2006.
Yeah.
Okay, so when it started, oh, I guess Well, Game,
Yeah,
of,
it's a Game of
Thrones
Thrones.
started in 2010.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's a
8
whole
seasons,
decade.
right?
Yeah.
that's a whole decade.
I brought it up again. I just recently did it, and it held up, and it was an amazing show.
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I've only seen one season, and I'm about to jump into watch the rest of
Breaking
it.
Bad?
It's
Oh,
so good.
shit, dude.
Yeah, everyone says it's
it's
so
my
good.
favorite show of all time.
The arc of
Yeah,
it's
it's okay.
Are you sure?
Are you sure?
now everything that I normally do is going to be blamed on the beer now.
Can you do so because he's never seen this before? Can Drunk Brett review John the Outlaw Roca's career in the
Oh
Schmo
no!
Now?
Oh man.
Oh no!
This guy came in as a face. Just because his face just was the first thing that we saw on screen. And he, from the bottom of the ranks, he built himself. He started off in the fan league. I don't know if anybody knows this about John Roca. He started off in the fan league, lost horribly every match in the fan league. But suddenly, some fire built up inside of him, and he decided to become the outlaw. And then the outlaw became him, and ne'er the twain shall meet, but they did.
Fred, I want to
did
fuck
meet.
you like an animal. I want to feel you from the inside.
That was
I will
great.
see you at home, honey.
That's your wife.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, what a jackass. Well, no,
She does not want to.
has she ever watched this show?
No, I don't share these things with my wife.
This is mine.
I don't like want her to go to stand up. I didn't have her go to things like sketch comedy shows. For me, like our relationship is our relationship, and all these other
Congrats,
things.
Roca, on the Redskins game.
Perfect.
Jokes aside, thank you all, and especially Roca, for making this year better. You continue to be an inspiration.
Oh.
49ers all the way.
Oh, we're going 4
We'll
hours.
see.
Yeah, probably.
We'll see. Seattle could have beat you guys yesterday, and you'd have been on the road. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
But so let's take it all back real
Yeah.
quick. So who do you think? Where do you think Sam goes? Who's he pick first? Does he go McWeenie?
He has to go McWeenie, right?
so?
If he doesn't, it's controversy and a half. Unless he knows something. So that's the thing
But he
about
gets
Sam.
but remember, he gets Guy right away too. Like,
If he picks
if he gets
McWeenie?
McWeenie because they're in the top.
Oh, they are in the top
they're
five?
Top five. I mean, they're
Okay.
6-1. Oh
my God.
the family. So
Well, if he's going face guy, it works for him to be under Levine.
it does. I mean,
Right?
because there's that challenge there, Sam. Because Guy is a smart motherfucker, and Guy
is.
And Guy, if with someone under the tutelage of Sam, could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, I agree.
But
Sam and Rachel too. Don't get because there's no way Rachel's not involved in some way.
Right,
with
but not
this.
officially.
If Sam's connected,
But not officially.
Right, not officially.
So,
but
but if you also have Shazam out there.
Yeah.
When Bibiani's got a #1 contender match. The kid's sniffing around a #1 contender match. Shazam just lost out to you guys, but they won the whole tournament.
Yeah.
You know, so like they're like you could see them going pretty high too.
Shazam? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, they give us everything we can handle in that match, and they were tough. And the kid is only gonna get better.
Right.
The kid is scary good.
Yeah.
More
He's so good.
I mean, he scared me more than Oyama scares me or Chance ever scared me. That kid scares me.
Well, he's starting to learn the game more than just the trivia.
And he's upset. He's proud when he knows shit. Like he's excited to know shit, and that's scary.
He's learning. He really is becoming like a student of the game.
Yeah.
So
I caught him young.
Yeah. Is there any chance that Roxy doesn't take the odd couple for her
Chance?
No.
Get it?
Oh, yeah.
What number is she picking?
2.
No, she takes her boys. She loves her boys.
Yeah.
She's taking me.
She's taking I want to see who drafts you. That to me is going to be so exciting.
Sam is the sneaky choice here because
he goes either way.
He can go either way.
Yeah.
He changes the draft. His first choice
Totally.
will change everything.
Yeah.
It's either standard or it's something controversial, and then everyone has to adjust their game plans.
What if he doesn't pick either one of those teams?
Certainly possible.
Which is crazy.
Certainly
what
possible.
If he picks Kalinowski?
Oh my God!
Can you imagine if he picks
Sam and Kalinowski? Shannon would scream her face off.
Kalinowski wouldn't play for anybody except Shannon.
I don't understand that he lost both belts while she was managing him.
Well, no, Grayson kind of did.
I don't know.
Well,
I'm just saying.
All right. All right. Moving on.
Putting it out there.
It's
putting it out there.
It's always sunny in Philly. Finally, the Outlaw has come back to SEN. Here are a couple of my picks for the decade: Get Out, The Lobster, Shape of Water, Looper. Looper's in my list.
Looper's great.
Yes.
Arrival, Attack the Block, Hell or High Water, also on my list. Mad Max Fury Road, and the Budapest. Grand Budapest Hotel. Just a few. Let's talk about the movie that Roku was in, Hell or High Water.
I was in that one too.
Oh yeah, it's true. Both you guys were. That's right. That movie. I saw that movie 2 times in the theater. Like I think within days.
Yeah. Taylor Sheridan.
What a 2. Him that and Mud. I love that film. And I love the dynamic between those two. Did you guys what? Were those 3, man? Foster, Pine, and Bridges.
Yeah,
that scene that Bridges has at the very end, after he picks, after the thing happens. If you haven't seen the movie, I don't ruin it for you. But after he does a thing, not with Pine.
But when he laughs,
he's on, and this emotional moment happens, and it's like it's so real.
It's so
it's so real.
I like the trailer for that movie is so bad, but I like Ben Foster, I like Chris Pine, and I was like, oh, and Taylor Sheridan, he's good too. So I went and saw it, and it blew me away. The movie was so good, and just talking, like, I'm from Texas, so like really spoke to me too, and just that simple scene of Jeff Bridges and his partner at the steakhouse with the waitress. The waitress like could have been nominated for Best Supporting Actress in that scene. She's so good.
Right now with the hamburger and everything.
Yeah, it's like everybody gets a steak. How do you
right,
want it?
Right.
That's that. And the craggly like those people.
Yeah. I
gotta
tell you
about those people.
In this list, I'm not a big lobster fan.
Really?
I mean, I like to eat them. But I was at the aquarium the other day, and these beautiful lobsters are swimming around, and my 2-year-old daughter is looking at it like just awe on her face, and I turn to my wife and go, "That looks delicious." I'm sorry, I know I'm a dick, but I'm hungry.
I didn't like the other one he did, the Killing of a Sacred Deer. I didn't like that one, but I love lobster.
You like the favorite?
I like all of them.
The favorite I liked. Yeah.
I just didn't think his like disenchanted like dialogue worked in Killing of a Sacred Deer, but I love the story. It was like a sneaky horror movie, and Barry Keoghan was really good in that
Keegan's
movie.
good. Yeah.
I'm chewing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Okay,
No, I saw Lobster, and that was when I just went to go see a movie. That was when I started doing schmoes, and I went and I liked it. I didn't love it, but it was nothing that I expected, and it was totally different for the Colin Farrell. It was good, but I didn't go crazy for it.
Awesome.
Yeah, I thought the movie was fine, but I didn't love it like
the first hour is definitely stronger than the second.
Yes,
Looper though, Looper to me.
Oh,
that's what got me so pumped about Johnson doing Star Wars is because I thought I was going to get something like that. I loved Looper, man. I love Looper. I think it was such a creative.
That kid was great.
He was great, but the other thing that was great was Bruce Willis woke up.
Yeah, right. When he shows up, man. He is incredible.
Yeah.
When he's dialing it in for these straight-to-DVD films, it's just a
Ryan
paycheck.
Johnson had the smelling salts. Man.
Yeah.
He was, and I was worried about the creepy makeup on Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but it
totally
worked. I love that movie. Emily Blunt.
Yeah.
That was my introduction to her.
Yeah.
Like, she was great. And just like, speaking of like Bruce Willis waking up, I thought that was like such a detriment to Glass because they did some flashbacks to Unbreakable. It's like, don't show Unbreakable when he's actually acting, and in Glass when he's just sitting there in the hospital not doing anything, because you can see the difference of Bruce Willis trying and not.
I like Glass though.
I do. Me too. I don't like the ending. I liked a lot of Glass, but I thought it lost me at the end for sure. I did think Split to this day, I'm never going to have an experience like that, because I have never done that, or a filmmaker hasn't been able to do that to me, where I was watching that movie and thought it was one thing and really disliked the movie.
Yeah.
And then and not just because of why, when you find out what it is, it's like, oh, no, now it makes sense.
Right.
Not just because I like that other movie, now I like it. It wasn't that. It was the fact of, well, wait a minute. He was telling you, because when I was watching the movie, I'm like, well, these rules are never set up.
Right.
The rules were set up back when he made Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I didn't, when you don't know it, and I think that's so good, and he was able to hold the secret for that long, that it was that's what made it such an entertaining experience in the film.
I didn't see Glass because of Christian Rubalcaba not liking it, because I knew he was a huge fan.
Right.
I own Unbreakable, huge fan of that. I love Split, and I'm scared of Glass because I don't want to be disappointed, because I love both of those films.
I think
so
you'll
much.
be disappointed, but it's not a bad movie.
Yeah.
It's not
It's
bad
a different movie. It's a different
It's
movie.
different, and
Yeah.
I just the ending to me I just didn't like the ending.
I just liked it because I thought it was like the biggest middle finger like ever that
In a way.
Shyamalan could have given. I don't want to spoil it, but I like it because of that.
People don't talk about Get Out. People don't talk about Split when they're talking about Get Out or It or the great horrors of the last.
Okay,
few
well,
years.
I
And Split
I
deserves to be in that
I
conversation.
gotta say, I really don't like Split. So
Wow.
don't even
Really?
like look at what
Okay.
you're saying.
Okay.
Not even McAvoy's performance.
He's the only thing that's good about
Wow.
it.
Anya Taylor-Joy.
You don't think Anya Taylor-Joy's another thing? Wow.
Sorry, that's just me.
Anya Taylor-Joy is like my.
Disrespectful.
She's on my radar for like next superstar.
Every other
yeah.
movie she's in is great.
Yeah.
for sure.
All right. So let's get back over here. So I want to
Except
get
New
to
Mutants.
I Am Ninja Panda. Some of my favorites of the decade: The Apes trilogy, Fury Road,
Yeah.
Cuba and Two Strings, Arrival,
yes.
Rogue One, Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk. Oh, I love Dunkirk.
Yeah.
Prisoners, John Wick, Whiplash, Inside Out, Logan, Creed, Man of Steel, Spider-Verse. Great.
He
great.
put all the
choices.
good ones in there.
Can I grab two of these? No
go
one's
ahead.
talking about Logan.
Oh yeah.
Logan is the best movie of that year.
Oh, yeah.
It is in the top 3 of mine of the decade. And
great.
you like I argue with Spider-Verse, it could be the best superhero film ever made, because it's goddamn beautiful Western that happens to be about a superhero.
Yeah.
But it's about this idea of transitioning from your.
It's not a Western.
And it's
It's a samurai film.
one stupid word. One stupid word, and my life's been a living hell ever since. But it's like
I don't know anything about that.
Vogel rides me like crazy over that on our show.
I'm
But
sure.
but like this, it's just so. It's about the transition of like you're going into this older time in your life and you can't do it like you used to.
Yeah.
Right? He has to do that serum to just be able to do it one more time, and he has to face what he was before, this wild animal like you are when you get older, facing who you were in your 20s and atoning for those mistakes.
Yeah.
It's about the transition of life, and then the message he drops on X-23 at the end: don't let them tell you what you can be.
That ending.
You be something
It's
different.
a great ending, and it's
Fucking brilliant.
It's,
So
it's
don't
great.
hand me One-Eyed JoJo in France as the top 10 movie of the year. Like this just because it's a superhero film doesn't mean it shouldn't be in conversation. So many of these independent films get talked about all over the.
Mangold,
this film deserves it.
Mangold with that, and then Ford versus Ferrari. This dude is something else, man. Like Ford versus Ferrari is my number one of the entire
Oh,
year.
really?
Yeah, I loved it.
Oh, great.
I loved it. And I put it up there, and it's just so young of a movie for me to say is it the best of the decade. I don't know. 'Cause I'm still watching.
It's
with
one of the
fresh
most
eyes.
watchable movies.
It's
Like
so
even if
watchable.
like you
Ford,
don't-
yes.
It's just like I even said I was like, even if you know nothing about cars, like they don't like talk down to you, but like this is what it's about. We're doing the cotton on the thing. That's what it's doing.
Yeah.
This is like it's so watchable, and
is.
it's 2.5
It's
hours.
no less
and-
Christmas, mind you.
No, which made $100 million worldwide.
Right.
So suck it. It made its money and then some. For people who are bashing it.
I liked it. Okay,
yeah.
It was
Yeah.
fine.
Well, a lot of movies that are bad make money.
That's true. Can I say something to?
Yes.
And I may piss off RB3 here.
Yeah, sure.
I will take Kugler's Creed over Kugler's Black Panther.
I do too.
I agree with
too.
that.
Yeah,
I totally agree with
All
that.
right. I think Black Panther lacks in certain moments, but it's a damn good movie.
I think that Creed is a more intimate movie.
Yes.
And it's a smaller movie, and it's also what Coogler kind of cut his teeth on. When you look at that, and Fruitvale
Fruitvale
Station.
Station,
I think
yeah.
what Black Panther proved for Coogler is that he can do it all.
Yes.
You know what I'll say though. Even though I think Creed is the better made movie. I would say Black Panther has a bigger impact in terms of like
absolutely,
$1,000,000,000%,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Won't deny that.
Yeah, and even I had the privilege of going with RB3 to Black Panther. We went together, and as much as I enjoyed the movie, I think further enjoyment I got of is watching RB3 and other people there that I know have been looking forward to a movie like that all their lives, and to talk to them about it and to see the excitement and understanding of what it meant culturally. You know, it was a big thing, and that's why I think what Ryan Coogler has been able to do in general as a filmmaker, each one he just keeps going higher. And higher and higher. And he's a really passionate filmaker.
It's kind of correlative.
And he's young as fuck.
He is.
He's like
and he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He's correlative to Patty Jenkins, right? Monster's a better film than Wonder Woman. But Wonder Woman has more impact, right?
For sure.
Saying there's a correlation.
I feel like Creed 2 got a little overlooked. Like with what they did with Drago's son, making him like understandable, like their struggle, like that they got abandoned by the entire Russian government after Drago lost. I honestly did not. I mean,
Happy New Year, everyone.
There we go.
By the way, any manager or commissioner who breaks up the loony bin will burn in hell, and their souls will be tethered to the Nino sweaty jock strap forever. Video Drew and Tom belong together. Save
like
loony
Video
bin.
Well, remember,
See you in Brooklyn.
See you in Brooklyn. Remember,
Just rewatched all of the Schmoedown and was not prepared for how much seeing Schnepp again hit me. Kristian, you said you had conversations with him about turning heel. Did any of the storylines you were going to use for him get used for someone else?
Good question.
I mean, if you look at kind of what happened with corruption, maybe because Schnepp always wanted to put together the supervillain team. That's kind of what he wanted to do. He wanted to. Schnepp and I were talking about like he would start. It would be a big reveal of someone who was pulling the strings from behind and putting together all these villains to cause havoc amongst the Schmoedown, and it would be revealed that it was Schnepp, and he was so fired up to play heel. He's like, when are we doing it? When are we doing it? I was like, we got to build towards it. We got to build towards it, and then alas, it just never happened. But we were getting close to it, and so I think Kalinowski's probably the closest that we came to that particular storyline. It maneuvered a lot because Kalinowski and Schnepp are two very different people. So you fit the storylines towards their characters, but Schnepp would have been amazing.
I want to chime in on a Schnepp thing.
Yes,
I did not have a lot of interactions with him, but everyone. He was just a very genuine person that actually remembered. He'd ask me questions about my children. Any tiny conversation we had, I ran into him at Comic-Con, and he just like brought me in. He was so cool.
He was
inviting, and he came on one of the shows and backed me up on Wilder People. I think one of the things. I mean, I can see what a legacy he brought, and he was a really good guy.
Yeah. So
it's honestly crazy, just like how many of those people are in this environment. Like meeting you guys, like Dan and Mara and Emma and Megan. Like it's just like you don't believe these people exist, especially in Los Angeles. But y'all are awesome. And I'm very sad I didn't get to meet Schnepp.
I know that was that's the beauty, and that's another reason why we're putting all the old episodes on. And I got to give props and thanks to Mark Fernandez who was really cool about letting us re-upload the matches that were on Collider beforehand and now putting them on the Schmoedown channel. So go and check those out because there's some great matches on there, and to see Schnepp over there is pretty awesome. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry. Oh, the Apes trilogy, by the way, too, is something.
Oh, God, yes.
All three of those movies. They're all really, really great.
Yeah. If War of the Planet of the Apes has gotten released in September instead of like a summer movie, it would have been nominated for an Oscar. Like they just it wasn't a summer blockbuster, and the title War was kind of misleading because it was a more like solidarity film, like about Caesar and like Andy Serkis's kind of swan song. But I love that trilogy. It's so good.
Yeah. Jay Wade, we know him. Happy New Year to all you. Kristian, the Schmoedown season is about to start. Could you please tell us where to send our storyline pitches? Also, Ben told me last week that critically acclaimed, that critical acclaim makes a movie good. Oh, I see what you're saying. Ben told me last week that critic acclaim makes a movie good. I addressed this on our latest SEN After Live. Well, let's talk about first as far as pitching storylines. That's left for me and some of the producers on the actual team. So we're not taking any fan storyline pitches, but thank you. As far as critical acclaim with making a movie good. What do you think?
I think if this is a guy I interacted with a bit on Twitter,
he hosts the after show.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I think it was about Last Jedi. And it would there was a funny article that says Rian Johnson bounces back with critically acclaimed $1 billion grossing movie with Knives Out. Because people, it was a funny thing. And I posted this is a great title. And he was like, well, Last Jedi was a bad movie. I was like, you can think that, absolutely. You can not like Last Jedi. That's totally fine. But it made so much money and has a 90-something on Rotten Tomatoes and Metascore. It's technically a good movie.
Yeah,
that's a trickier conversation because depending on if you take for example, if you take what critics say over what fans say, then maybe that's the case. But if overall, because the same thing, you go to Rise of Skywalker. Rise of Skywalker has a higher audience score and lesser on the critics, and will probably make $1 billion close to it. So that would also, by that standard, would also make it a good movie.
I'm saying professionals that do this for a living gave it a good rating, and it made a lot of money. Like Transformers,
Yeah, but people who are doing it for a living doesn't necessarily mean that movies are good or bad. It's it's subjective in general. Now what it means is that you could, because you respect these people and you like their opinions, that you're going to read a lot of them and say, okay, well, so and so liked it, so I will most likely like it. Doesn't mean because they do it for a job means that it's good.
I don't know what Rogue One's score is, but I don't like that movie, but I'm sure it has a positive critical score and it made plenty of money too.
Sure.
So you could use that argument against me. But I'm just saying objectively, when both of those correlate with each other, it's usually a good movie.
Right. Let me. I'm going to address one dopey.
Objectively,
one dope. We'll go with the dope GP. Dope. He's dope. So what I said yesterday, once again, dopey dope, was that I'm no longer going to be doing a full on this explanation videos and talking every week about Star Wars and breaking it down and doing spoiler reviews and doing that and dedicating a full on show and all that stuff to it. It doesn't mean wait, no, you said Darth Vader. Get out of my office. No, when people talk about it, I'm still going to talk about things. So don't be that clever little fart. And it goes, he's talking about Star Wars. Stop it. Don't be that guy. You can, if you want to fart in your own face, don't do that. Go fart in your own face. That's the same thing that what you just did.
You broke some hearts. I mean, there's a lot of people that are very concerned about this because they came to you for your Star Wars knowledge, and I think that's kind of what they're dealing with. Certainly. Is that they're worried that you're not going to be as involved.
What I saw, what someone said to me is you're a critic, you deserve to give us this. I go, first of all, no one deserves anything. Second of all, I did do a review. It was no critic is supposed to do spoiler reviews. By the way, you're not supposed to do spoiler reviews. I did. There's a full on review that we did on the channel, and you can go and check that out. So, anyway, so go fart in your own face.
I'll push back a little. I think I agree. It's tough because we're in this place now, transitioning wise, where the fans are starting to rebel against the critics. Right, this idea of the division. But inherent in the foundation of that is that the critics supposedly determine what is good and what isn't. So there is a rebellion from the fans about that. But without critics determining certain things then you have the People's Choice Awards. And how many people really respect the People's Choice Awards? Nobody. So it's like, okay, there has to be, I understand the anger and the frustration, but I think there has to be a barometer that we use to objectively say a film is good. Now, will you agree with it? No. It doesn't devalue your opinion, but you have to have some kind of objective a basis to say a film is good or not. You know, that's the way I feel about it. Because a lot of us discovered movies because a critic told us that movie is fucking great. Yeah. And they are the basis of why we love movies. So.
You think critics are the basis why we love movies?
I think critics create that thing that makes you go, it
creates buzz.
If I fall in love with movies, what do I got to see next? Oh, I'm going to go to the top 100 films from Leonard
But I think criticism in general has changed so much so, and that's why it's diluted. And that's why well, it's diluted for sure, but it's also another reason why print critics hate people like us.
Yes.
Because I remember when Mark and I started doing reviews we were doing them like 2008, but when we started getting invited to the screenings, it was like 2010. And that was a process in general. It's like, wait, where do you do reviews? On YouTube? Wait, what? Why do we want to? Because the studios didn't see any value in that yet. But now when you go to like these press screenings, it's all people on video. It's all video. It's all YouTube people, and there's people who in a million years in 2010 wouldn't get invited to these things. And it was all like the really pristine critics, and that's where I met the Bibbianis and the Alonzo Duraldes and Matt Atchides and Gray Drake. I met them all at these press screenings. They were like legit getting invited to these things, and we felt like we were crashing the party, but the voices that you listen to in reviews change. Like the generations change of like who they listen to, the Jeremy Johns, the Stuckmans, those people come up in the world and they go, and people feel more when they're watching it on YouTube. You go, well, that voice, actually, that's the way that I watch movies. That's the way that I listen to movies.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, because you listen to Stuckman, myself, Ellis, Johns, whoever, it doesn't mean that because we're telling you it means the movie's good or bad. It means that we align more on your tastes.
Yeah.
A lot of the times.
Yep.
And that's why. It's like, so I always push back against, well, because the critics say this movie, it's got 85%, it means that it's definitely a good movie. It doesn't mean it's a good movie to you.
Right.
It means that maybe a lot of the people that you agree with like it. And chances are that you might like it too.
Right.
But it doesn't guarantee it, and it doesn't guarantee that it will be a good movie to you.
Well,
Right.
See,
Absolutely.
Here's the thing. I feel like in today's generation, like there's no gatekeeping like there used to be.
Yeah.
To be a critic, you used to have to have like a journalism degree or a film degree, be a PhD or a master's at like a prestigious film, university or whatever. But now, like, because the internet is so accessible and movies are so accessible, literally anybody could do it and just throw it up on YouTube or write their own reviews.
Right.
So it's a little different now. I do think the cinema in and of itself wouldn't even exist without critics.
Yeah.
Like, just from the very beginning, 1920s, 30s, that's what kind of amplified the art form of cinema to what it is now.
I remember. I was there.
Yeah, exactly. But no, we just had Siskel and Ebert, and the content was so much smaller. It was there's so much content now. So now you're seeking out people like Kristian. They say, "Oh, I value his opinion, so I want to see what he has to say about things."
Right.
Do we need to put the AC on? Yeah. All right.
Oh,
I agree.
man.
It's one of those things.
Oh, Mando.
Oh, come on, Mando. Put on the AC,
put
Mando.
the AC,
Put the AC on, Mando.
Hey, let's go to Canto Bite later, Manzo.
I'm not a stormtrooper.
It's me and you here, Roka. The camera.
All right, I'm going to pee then.
Camera guy. Two of my favorites are Wind River and Fury.
Oh, Wind River.
River.
Taylor Sheridan again, directing, and God, like, I want him to direct because he wrote both Sicarios as well. I want him to write and direct a third Sicario with the way Sicario de Soldado ended.
Yeah.
I thought there might be room for one more.
There is.
There is, yeah. Sicario, by the way, another Denis
Did you like the
Villeneuve
second
film.
one?
I did. It wasn't as good, but Benicio is just he's such a leading man. He
It was
carried that
missing.
movie.
I think it was missing.
The first
It was
one, the
missing
second
Roger
one is,
Deakins.
the second one is missing the nuance of the story that was there in the first one.
Yeah.
But the first one was like, this is what the drug war actually is like.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt is America, thinking that it's black and white and it's easy to figure out. Tommy Lee Jones and Benicio are what is actually happening.
Josh Brolin.
And I'm sorry, Josh Brolin. What is actually happening down there? You got one right. That you have to figure out as you go through it. So that's what I loved about that film.
Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Wind River.
highway
Fury was underrated though, for sure.
Yeah,
I think
David Ayer.
Shia LaBeouf's so good in that movie.
Don't give me Suicide Squad. David Ayer can direct the fuck out of a
can.
movie.
I just
take the shackles
Oh
off
yeah,
him.
David Ayer, and even what's the one with Gyllenhaal?
End of Watch.
End of Watch.
Yeah.
That's what, like, I don't get why these. I mean, I get why, but like, you have these directors that have their vision and like have created these really good movies, and they're like, no, but do this. Like, no, we're gonna completely re-edit your movie, and like, it's so frustrating.
True.
To be fair though, it does seem like Suicide Squad didn't have much going before the editing.
Yeah, it was just.
I like the first trailer, the Heroes trailer. Like,
trailer was good, but she's hanging on in the cage.
Yeah.
and everything. For sure. Mike Esk had a SCHMOEBOT. Andrew says, who will return to Schmoedown competition first? Harloff, Ellis, or Team Schmoes? Neither. None of them. It's just too much work to be able to run the whole thing. Plus, I mean, in an exhibition, maybe? Yeah, because I got to take your ass on in the Rocky match.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want that belt.
You're not going to get that.
Come on, please. I'm going to smoke you.
That's well, you know. What, you want one of those waters? All right, go one of those waters. And now we have Go Tigers. Goddard is a disgrace to all Latinos. Curse him out. curse him out, Roca, in Spanish.
He won't understand it.
My favorite of the decade. You Were Never Really Here.
Oh, so good.
Drive and the New Apes trilogy. You were never really here. I need to revisit Drive because when I saw
Drive is good.
I need to revisit it because when I saw Drive in the theater initially, I was expecting something completely different. I didn't even know Nicholas Winding Refn and know what he was and his type of style. So I was expecting almost like
Furious and a transporter type movie.
But maybe like
some lady sued about it.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. I remember that. But I don't know if I was expecting that kind of popcorny. But I was expecting, I think maybe a mixture of the two. But it was a very different film, and I have to go back and watch it again because I know people love it. It didn't hit for me.
It hit around the time where we're getting these '80s throwback movies.
Like the music's great.
The synth. The music's great. The music's fantastic. Was it The Guest? The one with Dan Stevens or The Visitor? Was it The Guest?
The kid's in The Guest.
That's right. Brendan Meyer's in The Guest. And that's another one of these films that like harkens back to The Hitcher from the 80s. So the Drive did that as well. This kind of like it felt like a lot like old school Miami Vice, old school Thief from Michael Mann in 1981 with James Caan. It felt like those kinds of movies. So I loved it for that.
I think like people that's his most accessible movie, like watching Neon Demon and what's the other Gosling one that he did?
I'm sorry. Only God Forgives.
Yeah, Only God Forgives.
I didn't like that movie.
Yeah, no, I think like people like
it's all about it's just walking.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's just everyone's walking.
I love Nicholas Winding Refn, but I get why people don't like his other two movies.
It's like I get it, like the symbolism and everything too. But the cop, oh my god,
and the Valhalla Rising.
I get it already.
He's like walking. It's like, was he Jason? It's like he's just walking, and everyone's like explaining. Well, no, but he's God. And I get it. It's boring as shit.
Right.
All right. Let's see. The next thing is Tim Sim. If there's one film this decade that stood the test of time, it's Nolan's magnum opus, Inception. This is the film that I believe that introduced us to movies of the top 2010s in grand fashion. I totally agree with you. My second favorite of the decade, just below Blade Runner. 2049.
Yes.
Give me that horn, baby.
What do you say about that?
Disrespect.
What is wrong with you?
I don't like. Why don't you like about
it's
Blade
such
Runner?
a beautiful.
It's beautiful.
People think it's a masterpiece.
I think he's such a Blade Runner fan.
So am I.
I know, but I think that there's two types of Blade Runner fans.
I will beat him in a Schmoedown over the Blade Runner.
Well, I think there's two types of Blade Runner fans, and the first is the Blade Runner fan who loves the movie, thinks that the sequel is a perfect fitting, or completely unnecessary sequel that didn't have anything to do maybe with the
or it just didn't add anything to me.
Right.
Like it just didn't add anything.
Right.
That's my only thing.
It's the progression.
I can see that.
But to me, it's like, and again, maybe it's not criticism towards the movie, but if they would have made this movie 30 years ago.
Just wanted to say again, mad respect to that horse guy. The greatest horseman thing was a joke about Hannah being a horseman for 5 minutes. When idiots were calling for your retirement, I very, very, very grudgingly defended you.
Who's that?
First ballot Hall of Fame.
First ballot Hall of Fame.
Oh, is that Billy?
I don't know. I have to find that out in a second.
Finish your thought, RB3. I think I could agree with you on this.
Yeah, I mean, if it came out before her, if it came out before Westworld, if it came out before like everything that inspired Blade Runner, then I would have probably thought it was more original, more mind blowing. But the fact that we've seen the influence of Blade Runner is like it's kind of backtracking. It's like,
but the story, I don't know.
It's the evolution of the replicants.
Yeah, I'll push back a little bit on the story of Blade Runner. Like everything that it built is beautiful. I love living in that world.
Yeah.
But like Harrison Ford's an asshole. He's not a good detective. Ryan Gosling is a great detective, and the story, Dave Bautista opening this movie is one of the best scenes of that year. Like the Ana de Armas, her coming out party with them blending together.
Sylvia
with
Hoeks too. Sylvia Hoeks was incredible. That's a scary replicant.
No, listen,
she's frightening.
But the idea that you're going to have a human/replicant baby, that is mind blowing.
No, listen, when talking about this movie, like if you love it, I'm definitely not gonna, you know what I mean?
Of course,
like,
man.
It's definitely a great made movie, great cinematography, great editing. Like maybe not great editing, but like great.
Me and you were going outside.
Great presentation, great visually. But to me, it's just like it's not what I was looking for.
Fair. Respect. Well, Inception to me, I think we all agree on Inception. Right?
Inception is brilliant. Absolutely.
Yes.
Oh, no glasses.
What's that?
You lost the glasses?
What happened to my glasses? Oh, they're right here.
Where are my glasses?
Where are my glasses? I can't find them.
Shoot your eye out.
I found the glasses. There they are. Do you have any picks as far as the awards go of who you think? So, Player of the Year. Now,
what are the choices?
To me, I think the two choices are either Dan or Kalinowski.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
To me, I think those are the two. Now, Rachel's also nominated.
I think if Rachel held on to the end of the year, we could have seen.
Maybe so.
Yeah,
if she took another shot.
I'll never disrespect Rachel.
Well, I just don't think that because Sam won it last year, and I don't think he should have. I think because
Honestly, Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel that stands among the very best sequels that do not suffer from sequelitis, a problem that was arguably prevalent in this decade.
I don't disagree with
big
that.
problem, big problem.
Yeah, but
sure.
that's a good point. Tim makes some good points. But I just think that it was Sam. It's like he could have had a disastrous second half.
Yeah,
and that could have, because look at Kalinowski.
Right,
Kalinowski stuck through the entire season and played, because if Kalinowski were to retired and gave up the belts after he won them against the Shire Wolves, and he had the Inner Geekdom belt, he wins Player of the Year.
Yep.
By that standard. And I don't think that's fair.
I'll tell you what happened. He came out at a live event, and he took my mask, and he smashed it.
And it ruined it.
When he woke up the Outlaw, and I went and I said, you know what sounds better? Mikey No Belts. Yeah. And what did he end up as? Don't ever wake up the Outlaw, because you're going to pay the price. Yeah. He paid the price.
Such a good match.
So, and I took him out there. I studied hard to take him out. Then we took him out, took the belts from him, and then he lost it to Smets.
Where do you stand on, because like you said before, you got nominated for two, nominated for a couple of awards, but the two are the Entrance of the Year and Moment of the Year. Do you think that, because I don't know where you stand on the end, do you think that's an Entrance of the Year kind of?
Well, I'm not Bibiani. I'm not going to vote for myself.
Yeah.
So I will say, if people want to put me in it, I appreciate and respect that, and thank you so much. But I didn't do it to win Entrance of the Year. I didn't do cosplay or put up signs or anything. But
do you think it deserves to be in there? If it wasn't you,
we just said this about movies, right? If the fans vote for it and like it, then it deserves to be in there. If the fans vote for the moment or for the entrance and like it, then I'm honored it deserves to be in there. And I'll push back at anybody who says it shouldn't be in there, because what you're saying is the majority of the fans are wrong, and I don't believe that.
Right, because it could be. And it's also, you also got Moment of the Year also.
Yeah, right.
So
that one I'll defend.
Yeah, so
it's hardcore.
Yeah, moment, absolutely, for sure.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Let's go to Jake Acavetta, who says, "Damn, called me out all the way for being fucked up in Orlando." ... Fair.
Damn right.
Everyone was fucked up.
Was he White Clawed?
It was White Clawed.
They White Clawed, don't they?
Dude, this is why I stayed sober, man. They were all so drunk.
Nicholas David Gallagher. Hello from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. You guys have been a sunrise of hope in a time of hills and valleys for me, so thank you and God bless. My favorite film this decade is Loving Vincent, the first ever entirely hand-painted film, an animated masterpiece. Never saw it. Anybody who's seen it?
Yes,
I have. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, brother.
No, you.
I love Loving Vincent because it's about Van Gogh, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and so it literally takes his artwork and hand paints the entire animation. So it's very meticulous. It was nominated for the Academy Award Best Animated Feature, but I don't think it won. But to me, that's one of the most brilliant films I think ever.
It's a great new way into Van Gogh's work, and each one of those panels was painted by a different person.
Yeah,
one of the top 10 listeners was one of those people who painted on it, and he showed us, and I was blown away by it.
It's really awesome.
It's such a great film.
So many still Streamlabs. I haven't gotten to the super chat yet. We're still doing the
4-hour show.
I know. Sure. Kevin Fuss.
I'll need some lunch.
He just wants more beer.
Yeah, Kevin Fuss. Hey, could John Roca be allowed to finish a story? I think he's been interrupted 3 times now. I never got to finish his thought. It's true.
You got to roll with it on set live,
so
man.
tell us about what you were saying before.
What was I saying before?
Oh, never mind. So next, Douglas Johnson.
But you're feeling better. That's the big one I want to get back to.
Oh, yeah. I want to get back to that. Absolutely. It took a few days afterwards. Dude, the next day, absolutely dead. Yeah. Sunday, I was dead. Slept all day. My beautiful girlfriend bringing me soup and whatever to keep me alive.
Sleep with the belt?
I did sleep with the belt right next to me.
Was it antibiotics?
Because I earned that fucking thing.
Did you wipe it down?
I did 4 separate medicines that I was taking every different times throughout the day.
Yeah.
It was weird.
What do you like being better, singles champ or teams champ? You've done it twice now, both.
I love being teams champ with Dan.
Yeah,
I do, because I love that kid to pieces, man. And Dan is one of these guys. I know a lot of people he's a quiet guy. He wears his heart on his sleeve when he talks.
Yeah. And
so it's great to share that with him. And it's great to go in the ring with somebody when I go, if I'm not going to do well, I know he's got my back. If he's not going to do well, I know I got his back. And it was great. He answered those first 4 sci-fi questions. I had the next 2.
Yeah, it's like Rocky Apollo, man. It's great. And there's two great moments. It's a great story. There's 2 great moments when you guys win the title, when he leans over and he says, "We got it.
We got it."
And then the other one, when at the title defense, he has his hand on your shoulder, All right, we got it.
He's been doing that lately. The last 2 matches, he puts his hand on and you know what? I was so focused in Orlando when he put his hand on my shoulder. I was like, it's not over. Just answer the question. Like, I was just so goddamn focused. Because before the 5th round started, he leaned over to me and goes, if they don't answer, we win. I go, it's not over. Just focus up and finish this out. I've never said that to the GOAT. Like, I just had so much focus because he had gotten me there, and I knew we could get across the line.
Awesome.
So, yeah, he's the best.
Cool. So now we get to Douglas Johnson. How about The Report, starring Adam Driver?
Yeah.
Oh, God, yes.
Annette Bening is up for Golden Globe for supporting actress. Yeah, Ben was telling me about it this morning. I have it. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it tonight, but I heard it's really good, right?
Adam Driver's having him and Florence Pugh have the best years of 2019 with everything they're putting in. Even if you didn't like Rise of Skywalker, his performance in Rise of Skywalker, he's the best actor ever in Star Wars, in my opinion.
Wow.
Yeah.
Over Harrison Ford?
Wow. Yes.
Over Alec Guinness?
Oh. Yes.
Fuck that. Over Daisy Ridley? In her own... I would...
1 and 1A, honestly. Like, it's close.
Yikes.
I'm not going to give you over Alec Guinness or Harrison Ford.
They need more time. He needs more time. He's very young. I give you that, absolutely. But like what he brought to Kylo Ren, and then
I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, in The Report, it's one of those just like red tape documentary dramas, and he carries it. And him and Annette Bening are great together.
I think it's called Redcon.
Redcon.
I saw it 3 times, The Report.
Did you? You've seen it 3 times?
Yeah, I interviewed the director and writer, Scott Z.
awesome.
Brooks, for the Deep Cut, and we sat in his house in Venice, talked about it. It is a brilliant film. I echo everything
How long?
Ben's
For
saying.
about an hour or so?
It's about an hour and for an hour we had the conversation.
That's
we did,
great.
yeah. And he talked about all the things he had to get over and the people who were coming after him for
Yeah,
making
like
the movie, the CIA and stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about
it's a
Zero
real
Dark
thing.
30, and like they mentioned Zero Dark 30 in the movie, and he was like, "This is all bullshit.
Yeah.
Like none of this happened."
Yeah.
And like the craziest thing is because it's about the torture reports. The guys
The
have
real
like a
torture reports.
slideshows of like, oh, here is waterboarding. Oh, here is digging someone an open coffin.
Right.
It's like, and they're just like slideshows in a board meeting. Like this is like 9 to 5 stuff.
watch
The
It's
incompetence
crazy.
of what was happening
Yeah.
for real behind the scenes.
ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Out of the decade, what do you think the most overrated festival darling was? That's harder to say right now because you got to look. When you bring up a list, and we'll go back to it. I don't know. Kevin Fuss. Okay, no sooner do I post this question about John finishing stories than you go back to his stories. So never mind. Happy New Year. JJ, any update on the possible April live event in Tampa?
What?
Yeah, we were considering doing around WrestleMania, but the problem is it's just expensive with the hotels and everything too. So right now we have January 25th is New York, or Brooklyn. So tickets available schmoedownlive.com. We also have February is Atlanta, which is the 29th. We already have that card, which is going to be Alex Damon making his Inner Geekdom debut against Emily Rose Jacobson, and the main event will be Ben Bateman's first title defense. March 21st is the Free for All, and that is downtown Los Angeles. So those are the three. And then after that, we're looking into it. ZCM Zombie Custom Apps. Is the Darth Maul series actually happening? Sorry if I kept sending this message. It is not. It is not happening. That is not a true story. It is reported by one of these websites that just puts out fake stories all the time. I think that it is not the Crimson Dawn thing. That's what I heard. I don't know how accurate that is, but it was like someone had said that a Darth Maul series is coming out, and they already have like Whitwer and someone else involved. I said, none of that's true. They're still developing all this other shit. First of all, Mandalorian season 2 is next year.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan's either going to be 2021 or maybe 2022. And then we don't know about Cassian, and then these other series that they're developing, and you're not going to get another movie like 2023.
Plus, Iger said he's going to use those TV shows to filter into the movies. Yeah. So I think they want to take a break because I think Kathleen Kennedy is going to be either stepping down or moved out after 2021, and they're going to move somebody else in to take over overall, and they have to wait for that to happen. It's like a GM in sports. Yeah. You got to wait for the GM to get hired, then you can hire the coach.
How do you feel about that? Because you were saying you wanted to stick to the TV shows. How do you feel about the shows going into films?
Depends on who they're getting. Depends on who they're getting to do it. If you tell me that they're going to do if they're doing season 3 of The Mandalorian and then they're doing a movie that then transfers into season 4, great.
Okay.
Then that continues the narrative of a show that I've been watching, and it continues. And it's not just flopped together and thrown together and going, oh, that director's hot. Let's put them in there now. Right. And then it's like, well, what are they going to do? They'll figure it out in the movie. With Star Wars, it'll make money. Like that's the kind of shit that needs to go away.
Get the Jake Cannavale story.
He's right. Hello, Mando. That's the name of the movie. Jeremiah Morris put in a SCHMOEBOT for sure. And Jay Boogie. The most impactful of the decade is Mad Max. 12 Years a Slave, great movie. Moonlight, Get Out.
Yes, Moonlight.
Yeah. Get Out, Manchester by the Sea.
Yeah.
Great movie. Snowpiercer, First They Killed My Father, Whiplash, Joker. Wow. 13th, and If Beale Street Could Talk.
13th, yeah.
I was going to say Beale Street because like everyone loves Moonlight, but Beale Street did not get the love. I know she won for Best Supporting.
I actually liked Beale Street better than
Beale Street was really good.
Yeah. I personally like Beale Street more than Moonlight.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, but I think Moonlight has a bigger impact on culturally.
Yeah, sure. But I think 12 Years a Slave is another one. That's a movie that I thought was a brilliant film that I can only watch once.
I have to edit out the Brad Pitt scene, and then it works for me.
Really?
Oh my god! It looked like it just took you out of the movie.
All right.
It looked like some Southern California guy showed
Well,
up.
he produced it.
Yeah, true.
Fassbender said he had to walk out of his own performance.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure because it was very tough to
because
watch.
he never watched it until the premiere, and he's like, I can't.
Yeah.
So how come he can walk out, but Adam Driver can't walk out of a goddamn interview? That was ridiculous to me. The shit he got for that.
Oh, right, because because he doesn't like to watch his own stuff.
Yeah, he doesn't like to hear himself do his own stuff.
Yeah, well, because
What happened with Adam Driver?
So he was on this show, and it was a
NPR.
show, and it was a show that the woman had known that he
Terry
does
Gross, yeah.
he doesn't like to do this, and you made him do it last year.
Yeah,
and
in
he stuck through it,
2015.
and he stuck through
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Well, 2015. So basically, she made him watch back a performance of his in 2015. And he's been on the record. He does not like to do it. He doesn't. He's very critical of himself. He just doesn't like to do it. So, but he did it in 2015. And then she sprung it on him again this year, and he walked out of the interviews. I don't want to do that, and he left. And I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
I give him no shit for that. I think that
You think an editor can't go back and put that scene in that you were going to play before you drop the episode? Yeah. It's ridiculous to me. Why not respect the guest? If you don't want to do it, don't do it.
Don't do it. Okay, so let's see. It's Always Sunny in Philly. Speaking of Whitworth, did anybody see his tweet about the ending of Mandalorian? He tweeted, "I'm a little angry. No, furious. Just watched The Mandalorian. That's mine. Mine. Fun tweet or legit possibility that Maul shows up in season 2. He cannot show up in season 2.
Right? Not this again.
But he can't show up in season 2. He's dead.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We can't put him back together again.
No, but he died. He died in Rebels.
He's sliced in half, right?
So no,
the first time.
He died. That's how he died in the movies.
Oh,
and
okay.
he came back in the Clone Wars, and then he died. He died before New Hope. He died in Rebels, so he can't come back. But I think Whitworth's having fun because of what happened with Maul and the storyline that he had throughout. That's all he's saying.
Probably one of the greatest interviews ever given was me and Maul. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You interviewed Ray Park. It was amazing. Jake Acavetta put in he was the one who put in that SCHMOEBOT before.
Oh, nice.
That you lived through the Great Depression. Steve's put in a SCHMOEBOT for sure. John Mariano, my hopes for you all in 2020. RB3's timestamp goes viral.
Thank you.
Yep. Roca voices a national ad campaign.
Hell yeah.
Brett breaks the internet with cast iron cooking with Sheridan. Schmoedown and SEN get a full-time sponsorship. And Goddard KO's the LI Bagel guy in a SCHMOEDOwn, the Long Island Bagel guy. Yeah, that would be really good. Thank you so much, John. Debbie Schechter put it in a SCHMOEDOwn and a SCHMOEBOT. Dylan, as the year comes to an end, I just wanted to say thank you. I started to unsub from multiple shows because everyone hated everything. The negativity was just crippling me. Once I found you guys live, you guys actually gushed about movies, and I like things. Fucking A. Yeah, that's kind of the point. I mean, I think that there's a way to say that you don't like things and still make it fun. I mean, look at what Roca and Washington did just on Cats. You know, it's like no one's going to say Tom Hooper is a horrendous person and needs to die. He's a director. Yeah. He's a director who had a bad movie, and he's a very talented dude who's have some amazing movies. But it's like this. You know, there was a post in God. I want to give this guy props for saying it too. Sean Cartaya, I believe, who's very active here. There were people who were talking about what I said yesterday about us for not wanting to talk about Star Wars as much, and he gave an overall statement on. He said it's not the Star Wars fandom that's toxic. He goes, it's society. He goes, if you look at society in general of what they've done, what we've done with social media, and the way, and I want to get his comment because it was so well said and it was so smart and right that it's the sense, you get desensitized with certain things and you feel it, and everyone has a voice and wants to say things, and the way that he said it, it's in the Schmoedown Entertainment Facebook group. Go and look. It was great. I think Sean did a great job of expressing it, a lot better than I did just now. Lewis Chelsea put in a SCHMOEBOT, so did Jonathan and Haskell. Knapsack's Ponytail's back. I feel like people are afraid to put Endgame as their number one. Or maybe I'm a shill. I love the prototypical Oscar bait movies like Ford versus Ferrari and Knives Out, but this isn't just this is just the culmination of 22 films. Yeah. It's also the way it was executed, and it may never be replicated. No, I don't think you're wrong for putting it out there too. I loved it. It was my number 4. But as number 1, there was just something about it. I've always been that guy. Contrary to popular belief, you go back and look at my history on this, doing this. I gravitate more towards the movies that come out at the end of September until December, because they're the ones, to me, the smaller movies that really focus on characters and story and human emotions. You know, the bigger popcorn movies are always fun for me, and a few of them always make my list. But that's why I did like Endgame and why it was so high up, because it is a rare blockbuster movie that really expanded on characters and emotion. And had an emotional effect at the end. Emotional wallop. Absolutely.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, let's see. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps brings up Sing Street Nightcrawler. We talked about that. AJ Lancaster, Martin Kohler put in SCHMOEBOTs. The Meta Soul. Just wanted to send some love to John Roca. You're an inspiration to me, and I respect the hell out of you. You're the one who got me into the Schmoedown, and you're one of the great characters to ever do it. See you in the new era.
Ooh, yeah, man. Thank you so much.
It's true. It's like you have done it all, man. It's like it's like I did like doing that to you, because I can always find a way to get you inspired, because you were just like, I don't know, I think I've kind of done it all. I've defended the title. I was like, yeah, but the Patriots are still out there. You still got that record with the Patriots now. You know, how bad do you want to catch up to those Patriots?
Oh my God. You have no idea.
I know.
Roca was my first introduction to all of this. Like, he was the first one that I saw, like, this is a character.
Oh, yeah.
This is I got it when I saw him, and he
I remember driving home.
Rushmore, my friend.
That's right. I remember driving home from Collider, being on the phone with you about, because you weren't even working there yet. And being on the phone with you and going, look, I have this idea of what I want to do, but if we really build this character up, I need you to help me with this. And you got it like that, and you knew, because not the players didn't understand what you were doing.
No, true, and that cost me initially with that, because you said, like, I need a heel, and so we came up with it. It was an hour-long conversation.
Oh yeah,
and we came up with it. And I went in my closet and I was picking out stuff.
Well, because I liked you. I saw you wore that hat during the tournament.
Yeah, right.
And you wore the hat and you wore the mask at one point. I go, what do we call you, the Outlaw? Yeah. And you're like, I love it. And you're like, I can buck against the system. I go, perfect. Yeah. And then and then it's just play it healed, and then you found a whole bunch of crap, and then you came out and then did your thing.
So I'm saying, all you A-to-D fans, the Outlaw was bucking the system before corruption showed up. So I mean, there's things there from the beginning, and a lot of the players were super pissed sometimes, because they thought I was being highlighted too much. They thought, but like, we had a plan to elevate this thing and then drag everybody with us. And some people got it initially, some people didn't, and they had to figure it out
later.
Yeah, some people caught on later, and it's grown from that.
Also, probably still the best reaction to winning the belt, because like I was such a big Dan Murrell fan, and like when you beat him that first time, but like you were so genuinely surprised, like that he missed that last question. It was. Even as someone that was like rooting for Dan, I was like, that's a great reaction though. Like, you can't help but be happy for someone winning like that.
I didn't know the answer to that question, so it's legitimate. Like, when I reacted, I was like, oh fuck, that's not the answer, I win. And so it was like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Man, so many StreamLabs coming in right now too. So let's see. Sorry, everybody.
How you doing, R&B thing?
Yeah.
Oh man.
You feeling good?
Oh man, I'm just here.
Damn. All right, let's see. Holy crap, I'm still going all the way down here. So let's see. Nick Piccolo. Hey guys, Roka, you're the man. Much respect to you. For the decade, my favorites are Toy Story 3, X-Men First Class, Moneyball, Django.
Moneyball. We haven't talked Django.
Yeah, no, we can talk Django. Man of Steel, Nightcrawler, Mad Max, The Big Short, Hacksaw Ridge.
Kristian, if you loved Ford v Ferrari, you should watch the documentary 24-Hour War by Adam Carolla and Nate Adams. I loved it.
Oh, I will have to check that out. Thank you first. I was really kind of fascinated by that story. But
Django was in my top 10.
Yeah, but Nick also says Hacksaw Ridge, Logan, Baby Driver, Rogue One, and The Nice Guys. Yeah. So when you don't like the nice guys?
No, I like the nice guys. I like the nice guys.
What else?
Baby Driver. Is that what you're about?
No. I like all of them. I think it's a good list.
Okay, I can never tell your
He was more enjoying the list.
Yeah,
like a nice meal.
Yeah.
My new favorite thing is just.
Baby Driver is so good. Edgar Wright, honestly, is one of those directors that hasn't really missed either. Like, I feel like World's End might be his weakest film, but even I just love the Cornetto trilogy so much that I'll defend it.
I love Baby Driver. I watched that one a couple times in the theater too. It's very. I love the way that the music was a character in the actual story.
John Bernthal has done what he's done since Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
the best scene of the movie, and then he's off, but he's so good.
Wolf of Wall Street too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just watched that movie, the trailer, because I was going through all these movies last night to see all the movies. I forgot about so many different movies. Remember a stupid movie that came out with Stallone and De Niro, Grudge Match?
Grudge Match.
And John Barenthal was De Niro's son.
Right.
In it.
Right.
It's so funny. Didn't even know that. LJS has SCHMOEBOT, so does Amlan. It's Always Sunny in Philly. I forgot to add Begin Again and Sing Street to the decade list. Begin Again, is that the one with Adam?
No, that's with Keira Knightley.
Yeah, Adam Devine plays.
Oh, Adam Devine. Yeah,
He was good in that movie.
He was great in that movie.
Yeah, but I did like that movie a lot.
It's from the same
director. And Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, from the same director as Sing Street.
Oh, right. She's the musician, right?
Yeah. I think John Carney is great, and I also loved Once, but that was 2007, so it doesn't
Once
count.
is great.
But his films deserve more love. Plus, Sing Street introduced me to Jack Rayner, who I think is great. Jack Rayner at one point was rumored, or not rumored, he auditioned for Solo. I think he would have been a good Solo. He would a really good Solo. But
Sure. He's great in Midsummer.
Yeah, I didn't see that one. I didn't see Midsummer.
You haven't seen Midsummer yet?
I don't think that's really for me.
I don't think it's for you at all.
Yeah,
I saw it.
Yeah,
It's not Kristen. Hold on.
Yeah, I'm all right with that one.
It's rough and it's way to fuck on out there.
It's out there.
Kristen will go out there with Star Wars. He won't go out there with
not with that one. ZCM Zombie Custom Maps. Best Scott Cooper movie from this decade. I'll tell you, Scott Cooper was great in Little Women, by the way. Out of the Furnace. Oh, no, wait.
That's Chris Cooper.
I'm thinking Chris Cooper. See, I don't play the game anymore.
I was like, with you, and then I was like, wait, what?
No, the second y'all looked at me, I realized I said the wrong thing. Best Scott Cooper movie from this decade. Out of the Furnace. Oh, there we go. This makes more sense now. Black Mass, Hostiles. Okay, Hostiles is pretty fucking good.
Hostiles is so good.
Hostiles. I would go Hostiles.
I'd have to go Hostiles. As much as I love Depp and Black Mass, I'd have to go Hostiles.
Out of the Furnace is underrated, though.
Huh?
Out of the Furnace is underrated.
Yes, that's a good movie.
Yeah, I would. I remember that.
Bale and Casey, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. I didn't love that movie as much, but I do. But I really liked Hostiles for sure. I can't wait to see his new movie Antlers next year. I don't know anything about that.
You haven't seen the trailer?
No.
Oh,
Who's in
awesome. Oh shit, I don't know who's in it. It's like a horror film.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. What's her?
Ralph Biscuits.
Yeah, Ralph Biscuits.
Ralph Biscuits.
Shawnee B.
Yep. Shawnee B.
Garbage.
Yep.
William Belford.
It's a Santa prequel.
No, we'll find out in a second. William Belford.
Saul's in it. That
There we go.
idiot from New York. He's in it.
William Belford put in SCHMOEBOT. X-23.
Yeah.
Put in Logan is the best comic book movie of the decade. P.S. Roca, is Logan more of a Western or a samurai story?
Totally a Western.
Yeah.
Carrie Russell, Jesse Plemons.
Okay. Jesse Plemons. Okay,
yeah,
good.
Jesse Plemons.
Pookie 715. Pookie 17 loves Kaylin Rose 715. She's the best mother to our baby girl. That's really awesome.
Nice.
Call to action. Call to action. Put in a SCHMOEBOT. Kaylin Rose.
It was said that we would make up fully when Jane Fonda comes to Bespin. I say it will happen if Roca hands Call to Action the After Show Award. # Mission Impossible Best Action Series of the Decade.
So if they are nominated. If they win, that'd be amazing if you.
They're gonna they reference Jane Fonda and Bespin in there. What do you want me to do?
What do they do?
What do you want me to do?
They're playing.
How do you want me to do?
They're playing. Like, you told the guy to go jerk off.
Is it James Spence who sent that one?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, of course.
No, it was Call to Action.
Mission Impossible for the best action in the decade.
That's right.
I
Mission Impossible Best Action. Yeah.
I mean, Ghost Protocol, Fallout, and Rogue Nation. It's
pretty damn good.
I'm voting for Take 3 Productions myself.
John Wick.
John Wick, man.
John Wick is a great series.
The Raid. The Raid is up there
Raid
too.
1 and
it's
2.
Only 2.
I had Raid 1 and 2 in my top 10.
Yeah, same.
Both of them.
Wow. I don't know. I don't even know which one I'd even put higher.
I will go so far as to say I think the Raid 2 is the best action movie of all time.
Wow. Yeah.
And you're talking to a Stallone and Schwarzenegger fanatic.
Right.
I'd put it up there. That kitchen fight is flawless.
But it has that movie has a mixture of like a gangster, like almost like Goodfellas or something, mixed with this crazy action.
Yeah.
That movie is fantastic. It's
awesome.
So good. It's
and
fantastic.
those same two guys are in John Wick 3.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, they had that great fight.
Yeah, with the mirrored room.
A respectful fight at the end where you can see him
they're
again.
they're also completely wasted in The Force Awakens.
Pookie
715. Kaylin Rose, Happy New Year, all. What are you guys looking forward to the most about year 2020? I'm looking forward to watching my baby grow. Also, Pookie is such a goober.
Look, is that like husband and wife?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
I am. What am I? I'm looking forward to some exciting things happening. And that's all I can say for now. But I think there's some exciting things that are going to be happening, and I can't wait to share them all with you in this new year. Anybody else looking forward to some stuff? No.
Yeah, probably ask my girl to marry me, I guess.
Oh.
This 2020, I'm sure.
Yeah. Good that you waited, though.
Right.
You waited.
Love the show, love the Schmoedown. Keep up all the great work in 2020.
Thank you, Grimbear. Appreciate it.
We're about to go to London on May 2nd for another live episode of Top 10.
Yeah, I heard about that. That's awesome, man. 400 seater. That's great.
Yeah. So maybe at some point
we
on that
shouldn't
trip.
go to Boston on May 2nd.
Please don't go to Boston on May 2nd.
Because I'm seriously thinking about if you guys still have the belts at that point, then having a team title defense in Boston.
Yeah, don't do it on May 2nd.
Okay.
Bill Burr will call the match.
Oh, my God.
Sure.
Fuck you, Roca.
That's right. Javier D. Roca and Kristian just want to say thank you for doing that one-on-one interview a long while ago. I was in a similar situation as Roca, so thanks for sharing it, man. It helped me out a lot. That was a great interview. It was a good talk. You got a lot of call for that. So.
Someday I'm going to reverse that on you and have you on my show, and we'll have a conversation about you.
Let's do it.
I would love that.
Let's do it. Paul Denuzio put it in the SCHMOEBOT. Jenny Lawson, I not only spent a lot of time with family recovering from a transient, come on, you're making me say all this. Transient ischemic, can't see it. It's all, let me, here, because it's all messed up over here. See how it doesn't.
For those of you who don't know, 2020.
Transient ischemic attack.
Oh, sorry. Let's do that again. Sorry, Jenny. I only spent a lot of time with family recovering from a transient ischemic attack this past October, but I tuned into the show and the Schmoedown for the laughter and smiles, which helped me heal and process things. Thank you. Happy New Year. Well, thank you, Jenny. Sorry that I completely butchered that. Is that it just the way that this goes, it cuts it off in the middle of a sentence. So
I don't know what that means, but it sounds horrible.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good, but I'm glad that we can bring some laughter and some happiness in you. Thank you, Jane. It's very nice of you. Pac-Man Dwayne, question for John. How old are you really? There are conflicting reports that you were born in 1887, but Harloff said the day you were born was 1923. The people need to know.
Yeah.
Also, just kidding. And Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's. Go Redskins. Go SEN Network. See you all in 2020.
Right on, man. Thank you.
M. Ian Guav Panatic.
Oh, he's not going to answer?
No, he doesn't. SCHMOEBOT.
Because I'm always the oldest one in the room.
Mm-hmm. You find out afterwards. AJ Lancaster put in a SCHMOEBOT. M9. Jesus Lawrence Christ. That one beer away SCHMOEBOT made me spit my drink all over my monitors at work. Thanks a lot. Got to clean this shit up now. That's awesome. Jonathan put in a SCHMOEBOT. Anthony Persick. Just wanted to say thank you for an amazing 2019, and I can't wait for an even better 2020. Keep being great. Well, thank you. That one guy, Mel Roca, with the greatest intro in SEN history.
Oh.
So love you all, guys, and it was a pleasure meeting everyone after the spectacular, getting suited and booted for the awards and draft. It's my birthday weekend, so I will definitely be celebrating.
Nice.
What's the song of the decade? Oh, shoot, I don't know.
Redbone, Childish Gambino.
There you go.
That's up there.
All right.
That's up
Okay.
there.
Well, yeah.
I can't think of any.
Yeah.
All the Lights, Kanye West.
Okay. What a jackass put in a SCHMOEBOT. Joe Self. Roca, your initial reaction when you realized you beat Dan for your first singles championship, it remains one of the best moments in Schmoedown history. I've been a fan since the beginning. #Outlaw
I believe
Nation.
John Wick is Keanu Reeves' apology for the last two Matrix movies.
Maybe so. Well, hopefully, I'm hoping that the fourth movie is apology for the last two. The fourth Matrix.
Oh, fourth Matrix, yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm crossing my fingers.
Which one do you see moving off? Do you think it's the Matrix or do you think it's John Wick?
You mean
they're opening in the same weekend?
Oh, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, which one do you
Thank
think
you
moves
all
off?
for a great
I think
year.
the Matrix will move off.
Stumbled on a Jedi Council Force Awakens review and stuck with you all since. 10 years ago I returned from Iraq and struggled with drugs and alcohol.
Yo.
Been clean for 6 years.
Hey.
Cheers to a great year and decade.
Great job.
Awesome.
Chiefs.
That's so great, man.
Awesome.
Keep fucking fighting, dude.
Yeah, keep fighting. Keep doing anything. We'll still be here doing stupid shit
Hell
for you.
yeah.
So. Yeah, that's really awesome. What were we saying?
But yeah, which one do you think will move off? Matrix or John Wick?
John Wick will move.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
Really?
Matrix will stay. It'll have the bigger budget.
Yeah, people more
there's no script for John Wick yet. There's already script and cast for Matrix.
But I mean, to be fair, they could write the scripts for
pretty quick
in like a week.
Yeah, pretty quick. No, you're right.
John Wick kills people in New York. Done.
But I think that's the difference with John Wick. I think John Wick's a lot more than that.
Yeah.
I think that it is. I don't disagree with you that they could write it fast, but I think it's more than he just kills people. You got to do it creatively and also got to make it what they've done in every movie is further the lore. So
I'm surprised there hasn't been like a spin-off Netflix show about the Continental or something like that. Like, because I'd love to see that, like just building the world, like different assassins, like that'd be cool.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say?
He's trying to find a pisser.
Yeah.
So just go left, follow the steps, and you'll see the sign. You'll see the sign in the door. Yeah. Good luck. Just piss on my
first tree on the left.
Yeah. Okay.
I was gonna say real quick about John Wick. I think even though it takes longer to write those movies, they do have a lot more prep time for stunts.
I agree.
So that'll probably be difficult.
Frank Torres put in a SCHMOEBOT. This is Kristen Smith. I love Kristen Smith. Just saying Happy New Year's to all you all. You're all wonderful people and deserve a really special 2020. Oh, man, I got to read this to John when he gets back. John, I'm going to be starting my annual Lord of the Rings marathon tonight, and I can't wait to tag you every time the Hobbits do anything. I'll bring it up. I'll bring
please,
it up to him.
Kristen,
I'll
do it.
I'll bring it up to him when he comes back on. Kaylin Rose, Brett, you're such a bright spot on this planet. Pookie and I are always getting excited when you're on the show. We want you in the Schmoedown so badly. You'd be a fan fave. Well, you will be in the draft anyway.
Well, we'll see.
Let's see if anybody drafts your ass.
Let's have instead of
I don't know my
RB3.
kid's blood type, so we'll see.
You just beat the piss out of it.
No. Hey, me and Brett are teammates. Man.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Yeah, Villanelle. I love Roca. Two things I couldn't believe. Roca's older than Snyder. Guy actually isn't his son. Favorite of the decade, The Florida Project. Willem Dafoe is incredible.
Ooh,
you know, I've never.
Florida Project.
Did you love that movie?
I love that movie.
Yeah,
It's
I
good.
gotta see that movie.
Super underrated.
Yeah.
Super underrated.
That's the thing. I don't know if Willem Dafoe ever went away, but we're in a Dafoe-assance.
We really
with,
are.
Like he did the Van Gogh movie last year, Lighthouse, Florida Project. Like he kills it in everything.
Totally. Simon Segroy. 3 of my favorite films from this decade are Crazy Stupid Love, underrated movie, Baby Driver, and Kingsman. That's right. I don't forget about Kingsman. I love Kingsman, the first one.
Matthew Vaughn might be one of the directors of the decade.
I think he's pretty damn good, man.
He's great.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites.
That's second Kingsman though.
And Endgame, Whiplash, Inception, but you've already talked about them. Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, Crazy Stupid Love is another one that
It's so fun.
It's a super fun movie.
So fun.
Good chemistry between Gosling and Steve Carell, and Kingsman knocked me off my feet, man, when I saw that movie. I love that movie. That's why I was so bummed about the second one, because I love the first one so much. And a great score also, by the way.
Stars is making a spin-off series about the Continental.
Is that true?
Wow, that's awesome.
Cool. That's cool. All right, I'm down. I'm down to hear. I think I actually did hear that. Movie Finobi. Oh wait, I got something for you for Kristen Smith, Roca. She says that she's going to be starting her annual Lord of the Rings marathon tonight, and she's going to tag you every time the Hobbits do anything.
Oh God! Please stop it.
Yeah. And then Villanelle also said that they can't believe that you're older than Snyder. It's true.
It's true.
Yeah.
I can't believe I'm older than Snyder.
I know. Movie Finobi put in a SCHMOEBOT, so did Yojimbo 880. Matthew Z. Reed. Thanks for all you do and playing my shit. Happy New Year. This is Matt Reed, who did the Bagel Boys.
Thank you, Matt.
Can you let people know if they can check out my music on any streaming platform at Mayers Carter. So it's MAYERS CARTER. Check out Matthew Reed, who does that great Bagel Boy song.
Yeah.
Awesome.
The great Andrew DiMolanta. Check out Andrew DiMolanta's Schmoedown podcast, by the way. He's got a really good one. He's talking about the draft. Him and his wife
are great.
It's a really. I've been listening to it. It's great. You should go to their.
I want to be honest.
Tell him. I mean, you just let him know. You should be on it, because DiMolanta is one of those guys. You know who you're talking about? The people who love the game.
I met him in Orlando.
He's great. But you were talking about like Bateman, like people who respect the game.
Yeah.
This kid. Yeah. You listen to him and the way he talks about the Schmoedown, you just know those people who've got he knows shit about the history of the game and everything too.
Right.
You know, I think he should study Inner Geekdom though too, because I think Star Wars for him, it's just there's only so many limited matches you can get. It's a smaller division. But if you learn Inner Geekdom, I think that you probably have more matches.
I don't know. He keeps blowing it. The last question. I don't know if he should be telling me.
Wow.
Sorry, Andrew.
He would have gotten Bespin, that's for sure.
So
sure. How's his belts?
Dimolanta says, "Hey, Harlow, if you don't want to do a Star Wars show on SEN, I'll host a show for you on the network. Happy New Year." Well, that's very nice. Thanks. It's a good offer. Piz, who put in what?
It was just funny how you said
Nice offer.
It's a good offer.
Good offer.
I don't know if I'm going to do it, but nice offer.
Well, yeah. I mean, what do you mean? Great lit, kid. You got it.
You got Moxie.
Piz.
Here you
Piz. This is my favorite one. Piz.
There you go, Mando.
Piz. Just puts it in a SCHMOEBOT. Marty Gunner. Happy New Year to everyone in studio and everybody watching from home. Thank you for everything you do in entertainment, and I can't wait to come to my first Schmoedown live event in the new year. Me too, man. I hope you. I don't know which one you're coming to, whether it's free for all or the awards and the draft. The awards and the draft are gonna be lunacy.
Yeah, man.
It's gonna be lunacy.
I can't wait. I'm gonna get like 10 sheets to the wind.
You can get shithouse because you don't have to worry about who you get drafted.
I'm gonna make so many comments from the peanut gallery.
Even though the horsemen are gonna have their own table.
We're gonna sit back and just.
Dana Roger's gonna be like
camera on us.
Statler and Waldorf in the balcony.
It's like old NWO. We're just gonna sit back and watch the destruction.
Wiley Todd, can we talk about Bone Tomahawk?
Yes.
Or Brawl and Cell Block 99?
Craig S. Zoller.
Either one.
Bro, you haven't seen Bone Tomahawk?
Nah, neither one.
Brother,
Yeah,
it has
great.
one of the most graphic scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I almost threw up when I saw
really?
it.
Wow.
And I had stopped the movie for an hour.
Is it any good?
Fucked me up.
Who's in
Yes.
Yeah.
Kurt Russell.
Oh, I heard
He's
about
damn
it.
good
Oh,
now.
Who's the guy from Lost? Matthew
Fox.
Fox. He's
Yeah.
in it. Yeah, really good. And same with Cell
great
Block 99. And that's the same director from Direct Cost Concrete we were talking about yesterday, which isn't as good. But those two movies from him are great.
Those are good ones. So check those two out. It was Billy Belford, by the way, who said, I have mad respect to that horse guy. The greatest horseman thing was a joke about Hannah being a horseman for 5 minutes. When idiots were calling for your retirement, I was very grudgingly defending you. Your first ballot Hall of Fame.
Well, I appreciate
Billy
that,
Belford.
Bill. I mean, you were,
So now it's just James Spence.
he was responding. Well, I've always, that's never going to be. Well, he was also responding to Ben on the thing, and he was responding to Hannah. He was Brandon Hannah.
Okay, so there you go. So so now you only have beef with one of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. All right. Good. So Tim Sim put in a Schmoebot pity party. Spanish talk with Roca, Hector, and Danny Fernandez. Fave of the decade.
Ooh.
We need to talk about Kevin, Brigsby Bear, and Coco. Coco's an underrated.
Coco, yeah.
Coco's a movie, by the way, that I when I first saw it, I said, "Oh, it's good." And then the second watch after watching it with my daughter, I loved it even more. It's a heartwarming movie.
People don't give it enough love, man. And I hear people who will fall all over themselves with Pixar movies. They go, "Oh, I saw Coco. It was good." And then they don't go back for it. It's like, well, why don't you go back for that one?
Right.
What is it about that one you don't go back to?
It's so beautiful. It's just tough because the first sad moment is so early in the movie that makes you cry when the old man.
What does that matter? You're crying within 2 minutes of it.
I know. I'm just saying, like, for rewatchability, like, just for myself, like, we got to that moment and I was like, God, I didn't remember this happening so soon.
Yeah.
Because I knew, like, when they're introducing the singer and his song is Remember Me, and I was in the theater, I literally said it, I was like, that song's going to bite me in the ass later. And it definitely does. But the Coco's awesome. I love
really
Coco.
CP876, franchise of the decade, Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible, Fast and Furious, probably John Wick. Yeah, I mean, what else?
Was Fast 5 this decade? Was that like 2010, 2011?
Yeah. Fast Five was this
Fast
decade.
Five.
Yeah, I mean, you got at least 2 or 3 of them in there.
Yeah.
You can't argue. People went to see those things, so you have to be in
I mean,
contention.
if Mission Impossible's in contention, then,
Yeah, I think it is in contention because it also spun off a successful Hobbs and Shaw.
Well, then would you put Bond in there too? Because Bond had 2. Bond had Skyfall and
This version of Bond, I would say absolutely. I don't. Those other versions of Bond are fine, but this is Bond.
But it is 50-50 though with Bond. Like
Right?
you do have
Because it's 2008. Is that right?
No, well, we have
Spectre and
You have
Skyfall.
Skyfall
Oh, right.
and you have Spectre.
That's
So
true.
it's
That's true.
tough.
It's tough. Okay.
That's true.
So Mission Impossible probably the best one.
Although I like Spectre. I'll fight for Spectre.
Well,
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll defend
Pookie 715. Can Rogue One get some love as a top 10 movie of the decade? The Vader scene is my favorite scene in all Star Wars, and the movie is my number 4 Star Wars movie of all time, but behind the original trilogy. Ben can abstain giving his opinion if he so chooses.
Yeah, that's my opinion right there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it as a top 10 movie. I think it's I would probably say it's Force Awakens is probably the. It's hard. Rogue One's up there.
Yeah.
It's a really good one though too. But I would say not top 10 of the year. I mean, of the decade. No way.
No way. But I would say that scene. You could argue
the
that
Vader
Vader
scene's
scene
great.
might be the top 10.
It was a big moment.
Scene,
For sure.
yeah.
For sure.
People lost
Okay.
their shit.
Van Dyke Brown. Kristian, I think you introduced a whole new generation to Star Wars. I've watched all the movies, TV shows, and even read the books, all because of your passion. Thank you for all that you've done. I would like to add Raid 2 and Trade to Busan. I know you love that.
Oh,
well,
Trade to-
first of all, thank you very much for those
Thank
comments.
you.
Very nice of you. Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about the sequel and the American remake, which both I don't think should happen. Same with the Raid. Like Gareth Evans is doing
Gareth Evans.
Carnahan.
Joe Harnahan's doing it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, he's a good director, but it's just
He
like
is?
it's a perfect movie. You don't need to like.
No, I'm trying to get Joe on the show. I'm trying to get Joe on
He's
Deep
great.
Cut
Well,
because
did
he's
you not
such a
have him?
dude, man.
Dude, we had him on Fire Live, and
Yeah.
he was awesome.
Yeah.
A-Team is underrated. I love A-Team.
Oh, A-Team is great.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
Have you
Shelter
reached out to
Copley.
him already?
I did. We DM'd on Twitter, so we got to set it up in the new year.
Great.
And I'll echo Train to Busan. It was fantastic. If you haven't seen such a great zombie Korean movie, it's so good.
One Cut of the Dead, by the way. I'll throw that zombie movie in there. Have you seen that,
I didn't realize
John?
you're as big of a horror fan as you are.
I dabble. I don't like the jump scares.
To know.
I don't like the jump scares. Like they just don't do it for me. But I like good horror, like Hereditary.
Because it's like 5 or 6 good Schmoedown horror players, right?
Yeah.
Well, she's retired, but Clark Wolf is probably the best.
Yeah.
Then you got
Christian Rubicabra.
Yeah, but he bailed after like 3 matches.
After our retirement.
But he's got a very extensive knowledge on it, no doubt. Cody's sneaky horror for sure, but Jeff Snyder and Draco.
Snyder's good and Draco's good.
So those are like, but like the players need some more horror experts.
The questions Draco wrote were just ridiculous.
Oh, they were horror exhibition.
Yeah, that was insane.
It's like Rachel's questions in Harry Potter. Those were insane. What she asked. It's an I felt like Tony.
That was my favorite match of yours. Like, there are actors in these movies, people.
I felt like Tony Burton and Rocky. I was like, this is supposed to be an exhibition. What are you doing, Rachel? She's just mad she wasn't in it. She's like, fuck these guys.
Pookie715. Ben should have his own show on SCN. Should be called Against Popular Opinion, where he shares his opinion, then provides odd justification behind it. I would watch that show. Clarifying the question: which good directors and screenwriters hate Rogue One? Which one? Which good directors?
RB3.
Oh, okay.
Is that true? Nah, I like Rogue One.
Yeah. Nice try. Suge Knight 323. Roka, what's your top 3 favorite matches in Schmoedown?
Oh my God.
Also, Kristian, we need factions with all Latin players like the LWO from the WCW days, with Roka being the leader.
Look, that was fine. Yeah, but look how quickly the LWO fell apart. It didn't last that long.
I am an Outlaw fan. He reps Hispanic people, so it's great. Thank you, Kristian, for the Schmoedown. Well, thank you.
Yeah, I'd love to put together all Latino faction. That would be awesome.
It would be really
we wouldn't call ourselves LWO, but we
something else.
Yeah, get Hector Navarro back for Intergeekdom. That'd be great.
Yeah.
What's your 3 favorite matches? You don't. They can either be for you or you know, that's probably easier. What are your 3 favorite matches that you play?
Well, certainly Dan winning the belt the first time, and then
winning the teams or
beating Bibbs.
Or beating Bibbs.
Oh, God.
Oh, for the title or in the teams?
for the title.
Oh, okay.
For the title. There was nothing more satisfying because I worked so hard. Plus, that was the first time my girlfriend was like introduced to the Schmoedown.
Oh, okay.
And so she created like Excel spreadsheets of study sheets. Yeah. She watched all of Bibiani's matches and then created a profile on Bibbs on what he was good and not good at.
What do you guys are
mind-blowing.
Is that when you knew?
That's what I.
What do you guys? You guys are 2-2 now, right?
Yeah.
Although I think
we're 2-2.
You're 2-0 in 5 round matches against him, and he's 2-0 against you.
I'm 2-0 in title matches against him.
That's true. And
and he wants to hold on to that triple threat match. Let him hold on.
Well, he's got you in the tournament.
Yeah, right. And I totally concede that. I let him off the hook by not giving him scores and soundtracks, but the victory's the victory.
Yeah.
But I will not give him the triple threat. Triple threat's something else.
All right. And now we get to Fairs, who also put in a SCHMOEBOT. Melody. The Tale is one of the best films of the decade, but I could never rewatch that movie. I don't know The Tale.
I don't know The Tale either.
It's a Lauren Dern HBO original. It's on my watch list. I've been meaning to watch it. But
I know what it is.
But I hear it is pretty hard to watch.
Okay.
Question. What brilliant actor do you think unfortunately plays the same character? For me, it's Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell.
Jennifer Lawrence and Michael B. Jordan.
Whoa! You went after Michael B.
You don't know. You don't know me.
Dude, he does not like Michael B. Jordan. He says he's a face actor.
What?
Yeah, we get into it a lot on the show about that, for sure. So there you go. We'll let RB3 close with that one.
You saw Fruitvale Station.
I love Fruitvale Station. I love Creed. I love Black Panther. All the same director. Wow. Tell me another good performance. You know what also solidified my argument.
Go for it.
You saw The Wire though, right? The first season of The Wire.
He doesn't put up with that bullshit.
But here's what solidified my argument. We did a whole episode where we talked about Michael B. Jordan being cast as Superman. Not one person mentioned he was in Chronicle. Anybody remember his character?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
He's unmemorable.
He flies.
Yeah, exactly. Tell me a name of any Michael B. Jordan character.
To be fair, he's the black guy in the movie, so they gave him less screen time. You know how it works.
Sure. I know how that works.
You know how it works.
You gotta make it worth it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Call to action button robot Sirius said, "Happy New Year, SCN crew. The shows have been awesome. Wish 2020 will bring great things for everyone and the channel. And it's awesome to see Roka on this show."
Thank you.
We agree.
Hell yeah.
Grim Bear 13 put in a robot. So did Fairs again and Tavishka Productions. Productions and Fairs again. Kristen Stewart. RB3 can slip his Boba Fett into my Sarlacc pit anytime. That's not. Kristen Stewart.
Hey, Mando.
Kristen Stewart. James Spence. Is that the same one?
Here we go.
I don't know. Roka's entrance to Spectacular was great. His showing made me respect them a hell of a lot more.
His what?
His showing at the Spectacular.
I needed to win at the Spectacular to show him to be you little punk.
Real nice.
I've got
James
4
Spence
years.
can't
4 years of great matches, and you think one match at the Spectacular? Shut
There's
up.
a question for you. Tavishka Productions says, who had a better directing decade, Denis Villeneuve or Christopher Nolan?
Denis Villeneuve. It's not
I
close.
think the decade, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Decade,
Yeah,
I think
decade.
you're right.
Yeah, decade.
Michael Dingus. Dunno. I don't know how, but I overslept and I still caught you guys live. Here's my daily donation to keep everything running. Thank you, Michael. Really appreciate that.
Thank you.
Jonas Sisters. Adam Devine is a domestic terrorist. Get him out of film ASAP. LOL.
Oh, my God.
Wow. Favorite films of the decade. Enemy and Stoker. I didn't like Stoker. I liked Enemy. I didn't like Stoker.
Which one was Stoker?
Park
Yeah.
I forget.
Park Chan-wook?
Yeah.
Park Chan-wook. Yeah,
Yeah.
he directed
I
it.
didn't-
It's with Nicole Kidman.
Yeah.
Oh,
I didn't see it either.
right.
Didn't love that movie.
I thought it was good. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. Easy A is a top comedy for me in a decade.
Oh,
Easy A is a good one.
That's a good one.
Underrated. And then we have excuse me. Now we have Matt Gunner. Just to answer your questions, Kristian, I'll be coming out to the Atlanta live show. Awesome. Wanted to come out for the award show, but I'll be flying out for the UFC in Vegas that same day. I understand. All right, so that was all the Streamlabs. So please do not submit any more Streamlabs. So I want to get to.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I want to make. Thank you. Yeah, 'cause I want to make sure that I get to the super chat here because
Was that a lot? Was that great? Is that so many?
So
is
today,
that
it's
all
end,
positive?
This is a lot.
end of the
Wow.
year.
Nice.
We have a lot of super chats coming
We'll
in.
have
too.
write-offs now.
Yeah, so this is where Espolano Audio said, "Hey guys, love the show. The White Club killed me. Where would you rank Once Upon a Time?" Oh, we did that one yesterday. Sorry.
Yeah.
This is review and play. Any movies 2020 to keep an eye on but that's non-franchise. Next
Dune.
year. Dune.
Hey guys, I just want to say thank you for make my work day bearable, and Brett, you are the fucking man, and I enjoy people having a discussion without being
Oh,
assholes.
thank you, first. I really appreciate that. Very
They
much.
finally learned how to use the F word by putting PH on it, and they're going ham.
So yeah, Dune. I think Dune's a good one.
Thank you.
And Tenet as well.
Tenet's a good one too. I saw. Did you see the 7 minutes thing?
No, what's that?
They
There's a 7 minutes thing?
Before they played, I saw Rise of
IMAX.
Skywalker with Vivian yesterday or 2 days ago, and they showed 7 minutes of Tenet. It's awesome. It's pretty cool.
He did it for Dunkirk. Nolan did.
Yeah, he does it for everything.
Yep.
Jonathan Caro, thanks for the birthday shout out yesterday. Here's my favorite films of the 2010s: Social Network, Mad Max, Fury Road, Arrival, Wolf of Wall Street, Get Out.
My exact list.
Yep. Her, Inception, Whiplash. Blade Runner 2049 and Gone Girl. Gone Girl.
Yeah.
Gone Girl's one we haven't talked about.
It's a great horror film.
You think? Yeah, I guess it is.
It's a goddamn horror film.
I guess it kind of
It
is.
scares the fuck out of me or something like that.
I guess another horror film is Sex and the City too, right?
Fatal Attraction's a horror film.
Yeah, no. Totally.
Oh, dude, those are horror films.
Those are horror
for
films.
dudes, those are horror
Yeah,
films.
that's true,
A
that's
girl that
true.
will smash a hammer into her face to
Oh, yeah.
get you in trouble is a horror
That's a
film.
horror film. Yeah, it's true.
You know what I'm talking about, RB3? I know.
Senor
is
Film.
scary.
Sicario is one of my favorite films of the decade.
Hell yeah.
That dinner scene was so satisfying. I love that movie. Yeah, it's in my top 10 also.
Yeah, like when he says like, "Oh, your poor wife," and he doesn't even flinch. He's like, "Don't forget about my daughter," and it's like.
Yep. That's
Oh
it.
my God!
Yeah. Nightwolf, although they became popular years later, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World is a good
Yes.
one. Attack the Block and Dread. Yes, Dread is one of the best action films of the decade. No doubt about
Dread
it.
and Scott Pilgrim, I put it like best comic book movies. I mean, yes, Scott Pilgrim's a graphic novel.
Graphic novel.
Yeah.
Lena Headey or Lena Headey? I forget who's in that fucking Dread.
That's how you. I mean, can you imagine if you say Lena Headey, Sam Levine never has those runs.
Sam Levine is not even talked about anymore.
I know.
If I get that one question right.
You know you shouldn't have got it though. So random rock and reel riffs and reviews. There's a reason why we amongst the army call Spence the gaping chest wound. Not Sean Belford though. Hashtag Ashton Army. Hashtag Outlaw Nation. Hashtag SCHMOEBOT Truce. So I think there's just one. It just seems like there's just one person.
Yeah. Get rid of him.
Action Army's trying to get rid of
Toss
him.
him out. Ben, he's just.
He just said he liked. He said he liked you.
He's doing that to stay in the game.
All right, fine. Arlo Khan. Hey, Brett, how did the toilet seat work out for you? Much love to everyone. Hope you had a happy holiday and have a great new year. Schlong.
Did wonderful. One of them. Yeah, my son destroys the shit out of these toilet seats.
What, but shitting on them?
No, he pisses on them and it drips down, and they're like they're painted wood.
What
right?
is happening?
No, I mean, I order this one on my wish list every year. Oh my! I'm telling you.
Wait, how old is your child?
He's 40.
He's 13.
Wait, he's 13?
Yeah.
And you let him piss on the seat like that?
He's got his own bathroom.
This is white raisin. This is white raisin. Latino fathers will whoop the crap out of that child.
No way. My dad got mad at it when we used too much toilet paper.
Yeah.
He's like, well, you don't need all
rationed.
this. Get out of here.
I'd rather smell your ass than you use the toilet. That's rationed, man.
Cody Parker. This is my first time listening to you, KH. When I was to you, KH was on Jedi Council back when Rebels first started. Those were the best episodes. Felt like one of the great times to be a Star Wars fan. From toys, hype, mystery to all canon stuff. Post TLJ, everything changed. Agreed, but hey, it is what it is, my man. And thank you for joining us over here. Glad that you can enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed the show today. It's been a really fun show. Yeah. Fiant Productions, my favorite film of the decade is tied between Whiplash and Spider-Verse. Two great ones we talked about.
It's crazy
here.
no one's mentioned La La Land.
I know.
Because it's not mentionable.
Well, because man,
I know.
Why'd you say that?
Oh my god.
By the way, I thought when you guys when you and Man's movie fight, you guys had to switch. You won that movie fight by like dropping all those white jazz musicians like right there. I was like, done.
Yeah.
Well, I liked it.
I liked it.
I love La La Land.
It wasn't up there. It was.
I don't like it at all.
No, I like it.
I'm sorry, beautiful white people. I'm sorry it's tough for you.
I'm a La La Lander for life, John.
I can't understand it.
You
of all people.
Matthias Polacco. I did one per year, and it was extremely difficult to choose. 14 to 17 were very good years. It's always difficult to choose between which film is the best objectively, or which is your...
Are you doing your Arnold voice?
I can't see it. I'll do it objectively. Sorry. Dude, I'm reading these fucking things for 3 hours. I know. I'll do it in my Arnold voice. I did one per year, and it's extremely difficult to choose. 2014 to 17 were very good years. It's always difficult to choose between which film is the best objectively. Say it right, Harloff, you stupid ass. Or which is your favorite. Objectively? That doesn't make it you JT all of a sudden? Come on, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? You're sitting here trying to make a really good a sentence out of it for the nice person who put in the money, and you sound like a fucking asshole. Objectively.
Yes.
Objectively. There you go.
My choice for underrated superhero movie is Kick-Ass. Nick Cage and Chloe Grace are top of the line in that movie, and my action movie choice is Dredd, and Keith Urban is the law.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Carl Urban is the law, not Keith Urban is the law. Now I want to see
Nicole Kidman.
I was just Stallone. I am law. Wow. Anyway, thank you, Cody. Appreciate it, and thank you to Fine Production. Let's see. So, which is
Dredd?
Which is your favorite though? 14 to 17. It's always difficult to choose between which film is the best. I don't know. That's hard to do.
Year in film?
Yeah, 14 to 17.
I have an answer.
What do you got?
2014, because that year gave us Interstellar, Birdman, like a lot of great films.
That's good. Okay, I'm down.
I think 2019 is going to be talked about.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Like, this is a solid year.
Because 1917 is my favorite movie of the year.
It was my number 2.
And it's really?
Yeah,
it's in the decade list for me, too.
It's great. It's a great movie. Matthias Polacco again. Inception. Warrior. Perks of Being a Wallflower. That's one we have not talked about.
That was on my list.
Yeah, it's a good one. The Conjuring, Nightcrawler, Mad Max Fury Road, Sing Street, Baby Driver, Into the Spider-Verse, Parasite. These are great choices, everybody. All you guys have, by the way. Great ones. But yeah, the Perks of Being a Wallflower was really good. Carver Tate. I disagree with Ben on a number of things, but he's right about the film quality of The Sopranos pilot and intro.
Jesus.
Oh, wow.
Thank you. I feel validated.
Play the music, RB3.
No. Carver Tate, you broke my heart. Cody Parker, Logan, Hereditary, and Joe, underrated film.
Oh, Joe.
Okay.
Joe's good.
There you go.
Yeah. Nick Cage.
BCD, I love Saul. I laughed so hard I was sweating. Yeah, Saul crushed it today for sure. G. Paul, Whiplash, Social Network, Warrior. Warrior is definitely up there for me. I love that movie for sure. Mad Max, Hell or High Water, Wolf of Wall Street, Django Unchained, Her, Arrival, some of my favorites of the decade. This is really, you guys have some good shit going in here. Cody Parker also says Deepwater Horizon. Not bad.
Yeah.
Last Exorcism and Mission Impossible Fallout.
Yeah, that trilogy that he made with Mark Wahlberg, Patriots Day, Deepwater, and Lone Survivor.
Yeah.
Those 3 great movies.
Yeah.
Peter Berg,
Yep. Malik Tarrant just put in a donation. Thank you. BCD, best favorite films of 2010 to 2019: Inception, Arrival, Warrior, Logan, Spider-Verse, Room, Midnight Special, Toy Story 3, Paddington 2, Nice Guys, Coco, and Brigsby.
Sorry, Roca. I mean Carl, my bad, and I finally learned how to donate, so expect more donations, guys. Love you all.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
I love that. Thank you.
So you can admit when you're wrong.
Yeah.
Not like
I need to see that
Midnight
Midnight Special with Michael Shannon.
Adam Driver.
Really?
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
right, he is in it.
Now I'm definitely going to see
Trouser Snake, Jay Concho, Roca. Question: Where are these Hispanic superheroes at?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, they got to let us write them, and then we can make them. You know, I mean, El Chicano, they tried to do that earlier this year to make it like a first kind of Latin American superhero. I interviewed the director and the actor in that film as well from his first episode.
That's what we interviewed Carnahan for online.
Yeah. And you know, they tried. So there's people trying to do it. The studio's got to go behind it.
Yeah, Hector Navarro's always talking about Nova from the Nova Corps because he's Latino.
Right.
I'd love to
Nova's
see that.
possible, but it's not, I don't know. It's not as big. We need something big.
Yeah. Outbreak Podcast, RB3. What equipment do you use for 5 cameras in one shot?
I mean, this is just OBS. That looks like so. OBS.
Yeah, there you go. OBS.
There it
There you
is.
go.
And the cameras. You know.
Gunslinger 199. A wild Roca appears. It's super effective. That's true. Colbert Swordman. Favorite film of the decade: Snowpiercer. Lion.
Yes!
Lion's also a good one. American Sniper, Nightcrawler, and Upgrade. Upgrade I never saw. You know that? Everybody's talking about Upgrade. I know.
Upgrade's fun.
I know.
You would love
So
Upgrade.
you would fucking love
I know. I got to see that one.
Snowpiercer.
Yeah.
Snowpiercer is like, you knew Chris Evans was good as Captain America and like good at being like a sarcastic dick. He's a good actor in that movie.
Yeah.
He like that scene when he's talking about like eating what he had to eat to survive. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We got
I
some.
same
shit
director
on
as-
that one during an interview.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay.
That was one of mine.
There you go. Matthias Polaco.
Can you mute him? RB?
Yeah. And Happy New Year from Argentina. Thank you so much.
Feliz Año Nuevo.
Yeah, Emilio Benavides. Birdman was the return of Keaton. That is very true. It really was. Yeah, and that's true. I guess that's a movie that you should give a lot of credit for because it did bring him back into the zeitgeist.
Yeah.
BCD, Endgame, Force Awakens, Big Sick, Gifted, The Martian.
Oh, Big Sick.
Big Sick is great, right, Brett?
Good comedy.
Yeah.
I liked it.
I did not know it was autobiographical.
Yeah.
Like when
Yeah.
it came up
Yeah.
in the end, I was like, oh, wow. And now he's all jacked.
Gunslinger 199. See you in London, Roca. Top 10 for life. There you go.
Hey.
Jordan Rivero. This show has helped me get through a divorce. Love you all. Good, man. I'm glad. I'm very happy to hear that.
The messages we're getting today are
They've
just
been great.
ridiculously awesome.
It's the end of the year, man. Everybody's closing. We're closing out 2019 strong.
I also love how Roca has been trying to get Brett involved in the conversation.
He's new to the show. Don't worry, Brett snipes from the corner.
Oh,
Don't worry
okay.
about
All
it.
right. My bad.
That's why
I
he's
did
here.
see the Big Sick, and I loved it.
Yeah,
he was helping me.
That's brilliant. Yeah, it's good.
Sorry about that.
Great insight.
I'm just a natural, natural host.
That's what you do. Dylan Camacho, most expensive peace treaty and first super chat. From call to action, here's some respect. Spectacular was fire. Congrats on the title defense, Roca. Thanks for the shout out on the late great Karen stream.
Yeah.
New Year, new us. We good? That's from Dylan Camacho. He's one of the main guys. They're trying to do some.
Have me on the show. Let's talk about it. Let's do a 2-hour show.
They want.
Me call to action.
I know they want you on
All
the
right.
show. So
Bring everybody.
We're gonna get. So you're committing to it on the air here.
Yeah, I'll do it.
All right, you're gonna do it.
I'll do it. They're disrespectful. Walk the fuck off.
They're not gonna be disrespectful.
All right. I'll Adam Driver the shit out of
They
them.
won't. I did. They're awesome. I did the show. They're really good people. Greg Safola. Hey, dorks. I disagree about Kristen Stewart. Her best role was On the Road, mainly for her double knuckle whack-off scene. Real nice. The Mandalorian helmet has a wider range of facial expressions than unhappy pole rubber. Cheers. Wow, coming in hot.
Disrespect.
All right,
That's all you need.
That was really good. So Roca, Jay and I had this conversation yesterday, so I want to get where you have here. PRL 18. Roca, wrestling matches and wrestlers of the decade.
Wow. Becky Lynch, it's untouchable. What she has done in the last 2 years has been incredible. Fuck, last year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, she has to be in the conversation. I think Roman Reigns for all the wrong reasons initially, and then eventually.
What he did, he turned it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Rollins as well, I think, has to be in the conversation overall.
Matches. Think about the matches. We'll come back to it.
Matches is Bailey, and for me, the number one match is Bailey and Sasha at the 60-minute match at NXT.
Oh, okay.
That was incredible.
Where do you find the time to do wrestling, schmoedown, studying, hosting 20 different podcasts? Like,
I sleep 5 hours a night. That's
Okay.
it. I wake up as soon as I wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning. I'm on reading stuff and analyzing
He
stuff.
watches the way he's taking a dump.
Yeah, true.
Nick Bascom.
I'm in there a bit.
No time
Nick
wasted.
Bascom. Happy New Year, guys. Thanks so much for everything you do. Schmobel. Thank you so much, Nick. Movie Finobi. Roca. Holy crap. Happy New Year.
What's up, brother? Happy New Year.
Rick Duran, Best of the Decade. Coco, Wolf of Wall Street. Gravity. Gravity's a good one.
Oh, yeah,
I like
Gravity.
a lot.
Yeah,
Get Out, Rocket Man, # Growl Gang.
There's like 2 of you in that game. The fuck out of here.
One growl, one growl.
Let me show you the T-shirt sales from the Growl. Get out of here. You sold one shirt.
Machine Gun Kylo Ren. Real Hero from Drive is the best song from a movie. I love that song.
Yeah, Real Hero's great.
Zachary Binks. I want that ass, and I want it now. That is a Roku comment. Cody Parker. Lighthouse is not scary at all. Is it supposed to be?
No.
Okay. A fan of Peanuts. Short Term 12.
Yes.
Yeah, people like that show.
That's my number 4.
What's IW?
Infinity War?
I watched El
I
Chicano.
see,
I am
see.
a big fan of Emilio Rivera in Mayans and RB3. What's up?
There you go.
Good,
Thank
man.
you, Ferris. Ferris is crushing it.
Yeah,
Thanks,
loving it,
Ferris.
man.
Short. Okay, so Infinity War, Endgame, Logan, Get Out, Manchester by the Sea, Revenant, Inside Out, Force Awakens, Prisoners, Babadook.
Babadook.
Whatever, Babadook. I didn't see it. Winter's Bone, Black Swan.
Winter's Bone.
Black Swan, Inception, Toy Story 3, and Boyhood. I love Black Swan.
Yeah.
Black
That's another one that's a
That's
really
Portman's
good one.
best performance.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. That's
You
a
didn't
good
think?
one.
What about Jackie?
No.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Random Rock and Reel Riffs and Review says, did you hear the Babu Frick song? It's solid. Is it a Babu Frick song?
Oh my God, no.
Can you please bring out the Babu Frick
I'll
song?
find it. I'll find it.
Hey! I love Babu Frick. Gerald Boney, Best of the Decade. 1, Cats. 2, Tyler Perry presents Tyler Perry's Tyler Perry. 3, Lawrence of Arabia 2, Electra Schlongaloo. 4, Cats. Again.
Wow.
Solid list. Solid list.
Epsilon Audio. 1, Infinity War. 2, Inception. 3, Django. 4, Logan. 5, Conjuring. 6, You're Next. That was a fun movie. 7, Force Awakens. 8, Spider-Verse. 9, Dawn of Planet of the Apes. 10, Scott Pilgrim. Some great, you guys. I mean, a lot of people picking a lot of the same movies. It says something. That sounds. Put a little of the Babu Frick song on. I don't know.
Oh. Oh my God. I need to get high for this one.
I love that.
The video's even better.
All right, I love it. All right, we'll have to listen to this so we don't get struck.
That's
it's really
brilliant.
funny though too. Okay, Eric Lane, the most influential movie of the decade for me is Schmoes No. I am phase 2 and followed you the rest of the way. I'm ride or die, Mother Russell. Thank you, Eric. You're the man. Nathan Taylor, Happy New Year. Tommy Tom, I know Roka is a fan, so I was wondering everyone's thoughts on I, Tonya.
Tonya. Fuck yeah.
Thought it was great, as super creative. Are you kidding? You're laughing right now? You're laughing? Did you see what you did for the first hour of this show? Every other name. Are you kidding me?
You know what?
I'm going to rewind.
You have thrown me under the bus so many times.
That's right.
And I will laugh at I, Tonya, because it's such a funny mistake.
Tonya Harding. That's her name, Tonya Harding. I knew a girl named Tonya in Long Island.
DiCaprio had to be almost eaten by a fake bear to win an Oscar.
No one's mentioned that, by the way.
I was going to say, The Revenant is so forgotten.
Yeah.
That's a one-time movie.
It's worth forgetting.
That's a one-time watch.
Breaking news. Washington Redskins sign Ron Rivera as the head coach of the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, big deal.
Breaking news. Jack Del Rio is new defensive coordinator of the Redskins. We're coming
Great.
Cowboys, Giants, and Eagles.
Great. We'll just bring more of the old head coaches who sucked doing their job onto the staff.
I like Del Rio as a defensive person. He's not a good head coach.
He's an offensive person is what he is to me, the way he coaches. But yes, all right, fair enough. But Ron Rivera, as much as, look, it's a Latino coach. Latino head coach of my Skins. This is great, but his track record is not. Cam Newton is one of the best quarterbacks ever, and all you could get him is to 1 Super Bowl, and you're 3-4 in the playoffs. That's not good. Yes, he won his division a few times, but I just don't see him as the answer in Washington.
I understand.
Brett, your thoughts?
I gotta tell you what.
RV3 coming in. Yeah, we don't need to hear this. Paul Denuzio on Warrior, Annihilation, and A Ghost Story are on my list.
Ghost Story, really?
Ghost Story. I love it.
Blade Runner 2049, still my favorite. Sorry, RB3.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Ryan Fenley, Straight Outta Compton is the most underrated film. That's a good one, yeah. Tavishka Productions, thank you. Dolphins, go Chiefs.
If they had gone all the way with Straight Outta Compton, I think it would have been a masterpiece.
Yeah, for sure.
They let Ice Cube and they let Dre off the hook. Those motherfuckers pulled some hard shit on Eazy-E. They let them off the hook because
and
they were involved with making the
movie,
film. Yeah, and I think that's bullshit. Show me
they,
the real thing.
They skipped his domestic abuse thing, Dr. Dre's.
There's a lot they skipped.
Yeah.
Well, we didn't skip any of the questions because, ladies and gentlemen, we did it.
Woo!
Thank you, guys.
3 hours
so very much for joining us here today. We did it. We finished out 2019 SEN Live. Thank you to RB3. Thanks to Ben Goddard. Thanks to Mr. Brett Sheridan. And ladies and gentlemen, he's a legend of the Schmoedown. He's my friend. He's my buddy. And you can see him on the awards, the WWE Awards. He is the Movie Trivia Schmoedown Teams Champion of the World, the Outlaw, with the Finstock Exchange. John Roca. Follow him.
Thank you.
For everything that he's doing. Check out his shows on Collider and everything else. And we'll see you guys in 2020. Get your tickets for the draft, January 11th. And that is right, SchmoedownLive.com. Peace out, Mother Ups.